I'm Trent, and I'm going to be your handler for this evening. This is the third episode of our playthrough of Puppet Shows and Shadow Plays. Slightly adjusted, slightly house ruled, but so far so good. Everything is thickening up in the plot sense. Let's have a quick little introduction. Let's go with Thomas. Who you playing and how's he feeling?
Hello, I'm playing Agent Pearl Grayson. Agent Pearl Grayson is never feeling great, but he's feeling worse now, and he's gonna feel worse later. But for now, he's stable.
Cyberbro, with his awesome outfits, reliably dressed up. Who are you playing and how are they feeling?
All right. Hello, I'm Cyberbro. I'll be playing Agent Dale McMichaels, also known as DuckTales, much to his chagrin. He's feeling good. He's feeling great. A little unhinged. Things are going on. He's not used to all this gore. They didn't say it would be this gory.
True. Bob, how you feeling?
I am alive. I am not quite as bad off as Hanley is, so that's a step in the right direction. We'll be
Indeed.
playing speaking of Hanley, I'm playing Agent Michael Jareth Hanley, or Mickey Hanley as he's known. And he is the rookie over idealist that is about to have that come crashing down.
I don't think so. I think you guys are pretty much about to wrap this one up real clean. No complexities that I can foresee incoming.
Who the killer is, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We ended the last game with the breaking of the storm clouds above after a very strange phone call. You were just dredging a vehicle. There was a body discovered in another vehicle at a motel. Multiple investigations, forensic and otherwise, being run by the PD in the background, sending you guys information. The car was just dredged, right? And you were looking over the body and you found that there were two corpses within, which was slightly rattling. And it's getting late. It's getting to the point at sunset. I believe that DuckTales told his wife he was going to be home by 6. For that to be true, you would have to leave now.
Yeah, I told my wife out at 6, probably at the earliest. I called. She should be all right. We've got a job to do. There are corpses out here. I still called, so she'll be fine.
She's proven to be very understanding of the fact that you're busy and very forgiving of that. So
yeah,
that should
totally.
be fine.
And there's a bird out here I got to take a picture of.
That's true. Yeah, snow goose. There is a very rare snow goose at Coolidge Dam, which is not too far away. You're actually on the dam. You're just on the wrong part of the dam currently. You could make it.
He's biting his nails. He's biting.
Stressful.
Michael's, there's fully a dead body, too.
Yeah. Okay, let's zoom into the characters. You are just starting to get splashed by the first heavy raindrops of the Arizona storm clouds. There's a hint of a pink sunset on the horizon. There is a car, there are bodies, and there is a dredging team. What would you like to
do? I have an umbrella. I think McMichaels would be the type to scurry off to get an umbrella quickly. Does anyone else have umbrellas? I can get one for everyone. We should have one.
I'm fine, he says, perfectly at home with having a truly torrential downpour landing on his head.
I think Hanley is much the same. He just waves it off. He's too focused on what's happening and keeping his eyes on the prize right now.
Now,
the last thing that was told you,
yeah.
Sorry, just to interrupt once more because there was an important detail that I forgot to remind you of, that the local PD who was looking in the car, one of the dredging crew, called out to you and told you that he'd found a badge in the car.
Let's take a look at it.
He has reached inside and he has pulled it out with his gloves on. He hands it to you. And perhaps unsurprisingly to those of you, it is the badge of one Braverman. His name is Kenneth Braverman of the Houston PD.
Well, he looks to the other two and says, looks like it fits the theory. If Braverman's the killer, he must have left this here. I don't like how the bodies are desiccated, though. The others have been left in the Arizona heat, but these should be bloated. These should be in a far different state. Something desiccated them before they were headed into the drink. Any chance you guys can take a look and see what might have done it? Anything we missed? Maybe something to do with the and he lowers his voice, the liquid or the injection marks that our government friends are so interested in.
You can take a look, and then when McMichaels is back, you can have his shot at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael's gonna definitely take a look. What are we thinking? Forensics
I'll
for
do a
this?
scan myself.
Yeah, let's roll forensics. I'm going to give you a net -20 on the roll because it's been a month of these bodies being in there. They've been kind of
Yeah.
slightly eaten and whatever, but you are going to get a +20 to offset the -40 because you are looking for something very specific and, you know what you're looking for. So give me 2 forensic rolls, or 1 each, I should say.
Sorry, that was a -40 +20, so minus 20
Yes,
total.
-20.
Minus 20.
Yeah.
I missed it.
Looking for my forensic skill. I rolled a 30, but it's a -20. So I've got a 30 skill and I rolled a 30.
Would you like to either push the roll using our sweet house rules for the cost of D4 willpower, or would you like to spend luck at the cost of 1 willpower per 10 luck points or part? Either of
Yeah,
you.
I'm down to ride the lightning on this one. Yeah. So I think this is kind of this could be what cracks the case, and I can finally get the respect of my colleagues. So I'm gonna dig within. Could you repeat the options for pushing this?
Yeah. So if you want to spend luck, then basically you can reduce your result by 1 per 1 luck that you spend, but it will cost you 1 point of willpower per 10 luck that you spend or part. So if you roll a 30, you want to get down to a 10, then you need to spend 20 luck at the cost of 2 willpower. Or you can push the roll, which is a re-roll at the cost of D4 willpower. And if you fail, then it's a fumble.
Okay.
I would recommend using luck
Yeah.
in this
I'm gonna use
situation.
I'm gonna use the luck, but just for clarification, my forensic skill is at 50. So after all the math is done, that drops
Right,
my skill
sorry.
down to a 30.
It's a perfect
and I
thing?
rolled a 30. Yeah, it hits it.
Right,
perfect.
sorry,
yeah,
I
you got it.
misunderstood. Well, yeah, that's excellent. Then I would recommend not spending anything. Yeah, so you know what you're looking for. Specifically, if I understand you correctly, you're looking for those weird sort of needle hole marks that were found in sort of strangely geometric patterns on the little girl's body, and you're also looking for that strange silvery liquid which seemed to have freaked out your analysis team back in headquarters. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Cool. You look, it's hard to tell with the month-old skin. The needle marks, if they were there, are basically impossible to identify at this point. There's been fish nibbling at the bodies and stuff, and there's very kind of little left to work with. But you do find something that doesn't seem to have washed away and doesn't seem to have been nibbled at or eaten by fish. Is after you sort of peel back some of the little bits and pieces, you do find traces of a very similar strange silvery liquid, just again minuscule droplets which don't appear to have been absorbed or rendered unto the solution of the lake.
Okay. So McMichael's with his umbrella kind of huddled under it, searching. He finds the silvery liquid and he audibly says, "Great American Coot. Agents, is more the more the liquid."
Sorry, did you just swear by the Great American Coot?
Yes, it's a regional bird here, and it's quite nice. It's beautiful. That's not important right now. I found more the. He looks around at the other police that are there. More the liquid, the ones that we can't identify. It's here. It's here.
About what we could expect. Take a sample, but we're not going to give it to anyone else. We're going to keep it in-house. I got a theory. The theory is this. Hanley found injection marks. We found this solution, whatever it is on this. The bodies don't look like they should be after a month underwater. If they'd just been killed like that, they'd be bloated, they'd be rotted. But it looks like they were dried out first. I think whatever this solution is, or whatever the injection did or is, might have dried them out. Might have dried them out beforehand.
The solution must do.
I think so. Otherwise, I don't know. The Arizona heat and the sun makes sense for the state of the other body we found. The kitty litter makes sense for the one we found in the Chevy Impala. These ones doesn't match.
And it's the same between all of them.
They all look pretty, and just a confirmation, they all look pretty like desiccated, right? Like very dried out.
Very. These ones also appear to have had organs removed. Now that the PD are sort of pulling the bodies out and putting them into whatever else, you can get a slightly closer look. And you can also see that, something has been mangling them. At this point, it's kind of impossible to determine before or afterwards. But with time and some forensics, you could try to figure out what happened to all this missing flesh.
Yeah, I bet we can probably take a guess. I think these ones were eaten too.
All right, that confirms it. Well, we have
would
a potential perp, right?
We do. I think Braverman's looking like our prime suspect.
Can we get a warrant
I just
for his
wanna-
arrest?
When we get back to the office, that'll be the first thing we do. Need to find him, though. And I'll be honest, no, wait. He actually, rethinks himself and says, our boss said to keep the paper trail to a minimum. We got all the go-ahead we need to take him down, just not through the courts. I could check in with him again, but
What about the phone
going for a
call?
warrant, yeah. And he looks to Dale. What can you tell us about the call you got? We're way out of service, but something happened to all of ourselves.
That's the odd thing. It was from the CDC, of course. Trent, you'll have to remind me of the CDC agent's name on the
I
call.
think it was
Reuben
Harper.
Harper.
Reuben Harper, yes. Agent Harper was from the CDC. We're not supposed to release any more. These samples, we had to keep this in-house, close to chest. They were very concerned about this being a breach. So they know of it, whatever it is. I made it clear that this stuff's already out here. And this is the second time we found it. It's been in the lake. I assume this is connected to drinking water for people. Lord knows what else is in here. He sounded reasonably surprised, but not too surprised by that, which is concerning. But we're supposed to get the rest of it. There's more out here. There's more of this stuff out here. We have to get it according to the CDC.
Did you get a badge number? Or whatever the CDC have?
I got the name. Did they give me the badge number?
Yep.
Yes.
We'll look him up. I'll be the first to say this.
Apparently, no, he won't.
Agent Grayson has died, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah. Lightning bolt
I'll be the first to say
bursts
this.
from the clouds.
Mm.
Yeah. And
That's clip worthy.
Delta Green
almost.
got him. Yeah, exactly. You will not say anything. Delta Green
Yeah.
have made sure of that.
Thomas is gone just to make sure I understand. So was there only I thought the CDC call was different than the weird call we got later, or were they the same call? I forget.
That was the
It's been a-
same call. There were two phone
Same
calls. You
call.
got yeah, Hobson called you, your boss, SAC, and he said you're unleashed for force and whatever else. Basically, find this guy, take him down, find a way to make it legal. No photos, no drawings. Write everything down in text only. And then you got the weird phone call from Reuben Harper when you were out of range, talking about the top secret experimental technology breach. Beware of foreign agent interference and do not permit acquisition. Minimize exposure, save lives, contain knowledge of the technology.
Right. Thomas, your video's down.
Yeah, bear with me for a quick moment. Something happened internet-wise.
Yeah,
Let
you're
me try and get it back.
We're back. It's chaos. We've got multiple bodies lying around, and one of our players has been disappeared by the very agency who is the eponymous agency of the game. What is the one thing? What is the thing that you will be first to say, Agent Grayson? We've been waiting
Yes.
with bated breath.
Sorry about that. Let me be the first to say this. I don't like what's going down. I think that a lot of people way higher up the ladder than, well, even our special agent in charge are telling us to do things. And I think they won't have any compunctions about keeping things quiet. But if we do our job, do it well, we can take out Braverman and go to sleep, sleeping like a baby, knowing that he's not going to be hurting anyone else. We just need to keep off the radar of this CDC, whoever these people are, CDC, NSA.
It was the CDC. It was the CDC. That's who called it.
Yeah, but the NSA also reached out to Hobson. We're in over our head and, shall we say, over our pay grade too. But we should be able to do what needs to be done. PD can take these ones. We got the sample. And we can start a search for Braverman soon enough. Hopefully Houston PD will be giving us the information we need to chase him down. And once we get the body that he came in with, we'll be able to figure out precisely what went down.
Any of it.
What was the relevance of the tire tracks again? Sorry, I forget.
So yeah, the previous one, the one with the Van Olsen vehicles, they were They had punctured tires.
Oh, that's right. The punctured tires.
Yeah, and also you will probably have been informed, and may not have told you yet. You probably will have been informed that the Troutner family, the German tourists with the rental car found abandoned on Route 70, that also had spiked tires in much the same way as the one of the Van Olsen vehicle. This one does not.
Right. And the tires at the motel, they didn't have the same thing, right?
Also true.
Now, these guys were on the fishing trip, presumably. So it's likely that the killer tracked these guys down more directly or didn't have to run them off the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, killer would have found it on the scene, did what they need to do with them, stuffed them in the car, pushed them in the lake.
I wonder if there are any tire tracks here that match.
It's been a month and there's been multiple storms and the like. So it's a little bit tricky. What's the role in this game? Search? Is it called Search?
Yeah, it'd be Search.
Oh,
Search
70.
is
Yes,
70.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yes, there are other tire tracks in the area. It's kind of difficult to tell. This is a known fishing spot, so cars would have been coming and going in general. You are looking for the vehicle tracks. So you do know the tire tracks of the car that was also presumed to be at the scene of the Van Olsen family's vehicle. This one, do you see tire tracks of the same type of tires? No, you do not.
Okay, that makes sense.
So there are tire tracks, but they're not the same tires as the Van Olsen.
He
car.
looks to the others and says, no obvious tracks, not ones that match the other site.
Let's bag it, and at the moment, head back to the office. It's getting late. We should put in what reports we can, and we'll wait on Houston PD to figure out what was up with the Braverman case and go from there. If Braverman was one of theirs, it makes sense why they'd be cagey.
My request is still pending, Agent.
Yeah, we can we can go and see the bird if you would like.
Thank you.
Right, the birds.
Yeah, it'll be about half an hour, probably an hour, half an hour there and back out of the way, which will make it tricky to get anything else done. Like a lot of people at the FBI are working late, particularly with this case. But the likelihood of there being anybody back in the office by the time you get back, if you take this detour, is low.
I'll be honest. I think a lot of what we're going to figure out will happen after the investigation of the Chevy Impala body and the call from the Houston PD. Think Grayson is willing to take the risk so that McMichaels can disappoint his wife once more and make a lot of birdies very happy.
Yeah.
But he will say to Hanley, do you want to take a ride with with some of the PD back into Phoenix, or do you want to stick with us? I don't think we're going to get too much more done this evening, especially not with the storm wiping away tracks.
Yeah, I think I'll go back with
All
the
right.
officer, Hanley says.
Sounds like
Alrighty.
a plan. See you in the morning. And hey, we're getting this guy. We're so close I can smell it.
Bye, Agent Hanley.
Enjoy your bird trip.
There's a twinge from noticing, just like that's it for me.
Yeah.
With this murder case, Hanley's like a dog with a bone, that's all. That's why he's behaving this way.
Oh, yes.
All right. I'm just going to post some stuff in the Delta Green voice chat text chat. These are the current things you have up in the air that other people are working on for you, theoretically. Hanley, you head back with some local PD who are pretty keen to get back before dark because they are not insane like you guys. So there's the body forensics of the body from the motel vehicle. There's CCTV analysis from the motel. There's the media investigation, which was mentioned. There's the forensics of the dredged bodies, and there are concerns at whatever was happening at the substance analysis lab with Agent Squangley.
McMichaels didn't share about someone potentially confiscating that stuff, though, right?
No, he didn't. You're right. He implied it. Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Did not share that people were interrupting him. He just shared that he wanted to get rid of this stuff quick, but not. That
Yeah, right. That makes sense. I'm just
maybe
for metagaming purposes.
Yeah. So maybe Bob, if you have a quick think about, you can get back in time to maybe hurry one or two of those things if you can kind of get back to the office in time. Think about that for a second, and let's just have a little bird party with McMichaels and Grayson. So you split up. The rain continues to pour. It slows eventually. Through the clouds as the rain starts to dissipate. These beautiful sunsets of orange and pink start to come through these really dark clouds otherwise. McMichaels and Grayson, you are surrounded by the smell of petrichor as the rain kicks up the bacteria in the soil as you open the car door in the vicinity of this snow goose birding location.
I want to make this very clear. This is infinitely not Grayson's job. Like, as operator, he's more a door kicker and a shooty person and an investigator. As a team leader, he'd probably be like doing this less. But honestly, he's been elbow deep in corpses for the past couple of days. This isn't a bad way to spend some time. And he believed what he said. Most of the stuff is probably going to take a little bit of time. He's going to do this. He's going to get home before 11 p.m. and he is going to sleep. But first, he's going to make sure McMichaels achieves his dream, seeing a single bird.
You find yourselves at Coolidge Dam, overlooking the large dam of the Gila River, which forms the massive lake that you were just investigating elsewhere. It's quite a large body of water. You have been told somewhere in the vicinity of this dam and the surrounding reeds, snow geese.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with search. That sounds right.
Okay, 55. I have a search of 70.
That is amazing. That is a critical success.
Thomas dropped out.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, that's fine. We can focus on McMichaels for a second as you spot it. You step out of the car, Grayson kind of grumbly, perhaps a little bit uncertain of why he's even really here. Perhaps just trying to be a good team leader and look after his people. And yeah, there you go. And you spot just across the lake, just emerging from some reeds. It's almost impossible to see with all of the darkness and the drizzling rain and such. But fortunately, they're a very bright white bird, and you spot one just kind of foraging in the water at the edge of the reeds. Hell yeah. With a critical success, you've just found yourself in a perfect position to get this bird almost instantly. You've done almost no searching, and you've just got a perfectly lined up shot. There's like a hint. Give me a roll, by the way, with a +20. There's a hint of that sunset in the background. You've got this really nice framing.
All right. So I rolled a 7 with +20. I mean, that's under what my photography is. So that's with me. So yeah.
Yeah.
And almost immediately you get what you would, for an amateur photographer such as yourself, this is maybe one of the best photos that you've ever had of what is an incredibly rare bird. How do you feel? What do you do? How does this play out?
There is a single tear. McMichaels doesn't have a lot of W's. In his heart, he knows. But in this moment, he doesn't have people calling him ducked. A wife with reasonable expectations. In this moment, he just has a beautiful picture of the snow. The first time in a long time.
Grayson, are you watching?
Grayson is watching, but uncomfortable with a genuine emotion as he sees the trail of the tear glistening down McMichaels' face. He is going to avert his eyes to give him the privacy in this moment. But he is glad that he could facilitate such simple happiness. It's been quite a while. I'm glad you feel that way, McMichaels. Dale, I can't say I fully understand, but I know what it's like to have things that are important to you. And I know what it feels like to do it after so long spent denied it.
Thank you.
Hope your birders like it. And almost not unwilling, but unable to keep his mind off of work, he'll say, I'll probably tell this to Hanley as well. Keep an eye out when you go home tonight. I don't know what these CDC, NSA type people want or what they're willing to do. But if I were them, I'd put a tail on us. If it's not them, it's the paparazzi.
If they're spying on my home, they'll find a bunch of pictures of birds and my wife's flying collection.
Hey, if you're fine with that being found, everything's good. Still, hope your bird is like that photo. Good time for it. Let's head back.
And you do.
That actually fills one of my aspirations, maybe, which is connect with his squad.
There you go. I think you get a willpower point for that or something, don't you? Is that a rule? How does this game work?
I don't know, actually.
Ambitions? Is that what this is called? What are they called? Motivations. Here we go. Let me look up the rules quickly. While I'm looking up the rules, Agent Handley, you get back to the office in time. You don't notice anyone tailing you, and particularly you have a nice chat with the PD. Would you like to ask anything of this PD fellow before you before you get there, or you just want to skip to getting to the office?
And they would make small talk with the agent, but I don't think it would push past that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, look, I think that they're pretty happy just to, drive in small talk land. They're not really willing to pry or whatever else. Yeah, they're happy just to be getting home on time at this point.
He's actually really tired after the all-nighter the night before.
Oh, yeah, you're knackered, yeah.
As the small talk gets more sparse, he'll kind of rest his head against the cool window. His eyes sort of close and open till they stop opening as he sort of drifts off.
And you drift off and you sort of, your eyes just happen to, as they open up, catch the darkness. And there's these little spaces through the clouds where you can just start to see the stars. And you sort of find yourself drawn into them. And you're floating through space at a constant speed now, in a straight line for a long time, much like the car that you're in. And you focus on one star, which seems to just be a little brighter, and you approach it. Nowhere near fast enough at this constant speed to crash into it, but it just changes your direction just a little bit. You kind of zip just past it and you feel a little bit of a pull. Maybe your car is cornering. And after you've flown past it, a long, long time after, somehow in this dream space with dream time, the gravity slows you down. You stop for a moment and you start to fall back. And you can kind of turn and you see the star again. And all of a sudden, you're whipping slowly but infinitely fast around the star in orbit. You fly past at a distance over and over again in huge loops, each one bringing you just a little closer. And eventually the spiral will tighten and you'll be pulled in. There's nothing you can do about it. And the star is yellow. Agent, we're here. You say. The car has stopped. And you're nudged awake.
Oh, as he comes to, he kind of looks at his watch. He's like, I was out for a bit. Fucking case. Sorry, I didn't get much sleep.
I get you. This is a hell of a case, Agent. I'm glad I'm not you. Yeah, you're right. You need me to take you home or something?
No, I got some work to do. With that, he reaches in his pocket and looks and finds his caffeine pills. Just
give me yeah, sure. Give me a D4 and you lose that much willpower as you continue to press yourself through the evening.
1.
Great. That's actually a D6. Don't worry about it. 1's fine. You are driven on by your dedication to this mission. You get out, and as you kind of slam the door or close the door, you just hear him call out, "Get some sleep." It's cut off as the door closes, and you march toward the office.
I think he's most interested in the CCTV footage that was pulled because that was kind of something he was involved in, and I think he feels like he can pull an all-nighter if he needs to review that.
Yeah, cool. So you, how long do you want to spend? You can sort of look. There's 2 ways you do it. One is you can go into the lab, sort of, gain access to the equipment just by using your authority on the case and do the work yourself, or you can go in there and try and pressure somebody else to do it on a night shift, so it's ready for you in the morning. Either one's fine. Obviously, one will be personal effort and less sleep.
He popped his caffeine pills, so he's going to do it himself. But would this be a computer science role?
Maybe. Do you have good computer science or shitty?
I have a 20.
20, yeah. Look, you can get an agent to run you through, or like an analyst to run you through. The technology is not complicated. Like, it's just take this thing out, blah, blah, blah. This is fast forward. This is rewind, right? It's really just a matter of looking through the footage to find the relevant timestamps and such. So if you don't have the specific skill, I guess it'll just be like a search roll at -20 or something like that. Sounds right to me.
Let's go with search. His search is 70, so -20 is way better than computer science.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's go search at -20. You want to do it yourself?
Yeah, I think he's going to do it himself. I mean, it just makes sense. He's pretty invested. He popped the caffeine, so let's do it. Let's see this.
Yeah, cool. That sounds good. So you spend the time. You're going to get the information. It's just a matter of how quickly, which is obviously relevant given you're already fragged.
22 crit, baby.
Ooh, baby. You're a smart guy. You're young. You get the hang of this technology stuff pretty quickly. And the analyst obviously knows his shit, and he tells you what you need to know quickly enough. So it's only a few hours. Your caffeine pill is still keeping you zinging as the darkness sort of surrounds the office that you're in. What you notice is there's a couple of cameras at the motel. You can see the car, which you saw earlier, which had the body in the back. You can see that. You don't have footage of the car park where you found the vehicle, but you have a few other shots that can give you some context. So you see that car arrive, and it stays for a couple of hours later after it's arrived. You see another car arrive. This car is a large kind of four-wheel drive truck in the US terminology, like a Jeep or a utility or whatever. It is of the type that matches the list of vehicles that you've been provided that have the tires that match the previous site. At around the time that that vehicle arrives, you see a man enter the motel. He looks like a Native American, presumably Apache, given the region. He's a big guy. He's got a couple of tattoos. He looks sort of a little bit on the older side, but clearly fit. He walks with a sort of strength and confidence, but not trying to intimidate or anything, just a strong figure. He walks in, and you can see that he's sort of talking to the person behind the counter a little bit. Then there's a brief moment where he and the person who you presume is Braverman talk to each other in this camera, and you can see that Braverman is kind of like a little bit erratic. He kind of looks a little bit nervous and stuff, and he's gesturing outside, and then they both leave together. And then
Does the employee look like the one that he talked to in person when they were there on site?
different guy, different employee, yeah. And then shortly thereafter, you see the truck leave, and obviously Braverman's car does not.
If I understand this correctly, it looks like the two of them, Braverman and this indigenous guy, exit together.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it look like they knew each other before just from the camera footage? Like, can I tell that?
Yeah, you're him at 60, right?
Yeah, it's 60.
You see that the Braverman's tall as well. He's about 6'2", and he's a police officer. He's fairly fit. Braverman looks extremely agitated. He's kind of sort of twitchy, but he also has this kind of despite his body being anxious, his eyes aren't. He's kind of just like holding his gaze on this other character. And the Apache guy, when he first speaks to him, you can see that he is immediately kind of on edge, defensive, not worried or necessarily nervous or anything, just cautious. And you see that he kind of sighs a little bit, sort of rolls his shoulders a little bit, and you can see he kind of makes a decision to go with this person. So it doesn't look like they know each other. It seems like Braverman was making an appeal to this other character, and this character makes a decision to go with him.
Okay, so you know how there was this body, presumably a man, left in the back of the car in the kitty litter?
Yeah.
Does it look like that could be this indigenous fellow, or maybe even presumably Braverman?
Yeah, it was yeah. You know what? With that line of thinking, you could probably conclude that whoever was in the cat litter in the back of the car was a tall Caucasian man.
Wait, so is the tall Caucasian man like one of the workers that's there? I mean, tall Caucasian man. I'm trying to think of someone that fits that profile.
No. And with that line of questioning, it pings your brain briefly that the body in the back matches the profile of Braverman. You think back and you remember the mustache.
Okay, so it's Braverman? Interesting. Okay, so this is the 90s, right? So he's going to go to the, yellow phone book, pull it out and look for presumably the motel if he has the right phone book.
The motel?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You flick through the phone book, you call the motel, you get an answer, "Hello."
Hi, it's Agent Hanley of the FBI. I have a couple questions for you if you have the time.
Agent who?
Hanley, he repeats himself. Can I talk to your supervisor on shift?
Yeah, that's me. Supervisor just left for the day, so I'm all you got, bud.
I have 2 physical descriptions of suspects related to an active case. Do you mind if I run them by you and you can tell me if they sound familiar?
Description? Yeah. Anyone that works there matching that description, did you say?
Yes, or any of the guests.
Or has visited?
Well, the 2 came in separately, but they left together.
Yes. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So Braverman came in first, and then the Apache guy came in second.
Okay, so at this point, I think Hanley's going to give the most detailed physical description of the indigenous Apache guy. I think that's where he'll get started.
Shit. I mean, you describe half the local around here, so I don't know, they live here, but sometimes they came by to hang out with people. You got a date or something, or just recently in general?
Date? Do I have a date?
Yeah. Yeah, July 18th.
July 18th.
Yeah, July 18th. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. Hold on just a second. You can hear the sound of flicking through books. Yeah, July 18, 1 month ago. All right. Okay, we got hold on 1 second. Got Irene Bauer. She's a guest here. She left after 3 days. Cyrus Vaughn. We got a Nathaniel Abate. He came signed in state just one night, and then he get out. Yeah. We got Emmanuel Santana. He came in. He hired a room, but he didn't use it. So he came in and he's going to stay the night, but he didn't end up staying. But we took his money nonetheless. So joke's on him. You know what? Emmanuel Santana. I remember him. He's a tall guy. Apache fella. He might be your guy.
Hanley puts his coat on, and while he's doing so, he's still talking on the phone. He says, I'll be there soon. We'll talk soon. And then he hangs up. And with that, he's going to call McMichael's phone and hope that the timing crosses over in a way that he can go ahead and contact them. But if he's not, he's totally still going.
Yeah, sure. Your good roll earlier means that you did pretty quickly, and that you did all this pretty quickly. And with the critical and the bird finding roll, they wrapped up pretty quick as well. So by the time you call, your phone rings. You get Hanley's. Do you get? I can't remember if phones in 1997 tell you the number. Anyway, you guys are just driving into Phoenix as you get this call from Hanley.
Yeah, you got the contact save. They told you the number. They had the green screen and the black text. I remember that.
Hell yeah.
Agent Hanley, I got it. I got the picture. The bird. I got the picture of the bird.
That's great.
The snow goose.
McMichaels, that's great. Listen, that's excellent. Can you put me on speakerphone? I think they had speakerphone in the 90s. I'm pretty sure.
It was on speaker.
You never know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's shitty. I think that the body might have been Braverman, and the video footage showed him meeting up with Apache fellow, presumably Native American man, and the two left together from the motel we were just at.
What the fuck?
Listen, none of this really makes sense to me, but I'm going to go down there right away. I don't think this can wait.
Yeah, we'll meet you there.
Probably call my wife.
You look down. It is currently 6:45.
This case just got a lot more intense.
Well, the cockatrice was very intense, but now it's cold, Dale.
I'm helping.
You promised. You made a promise. I recorded you, Dale. I have a little recording device just like the one you use at your very important work. You hear a click and you hear your own voice promising to be back by 6.
I know. I'm very sorry. But the people, they need me. They need Dale McMichaels.
The people, Dale? What about me? Are you saying that they're all more important than me? I'm your wife, Dale. Who could be more important than that? You made a promise. Vows, Dale.
I'm not going to be coming home anytime soon. We can talk about this. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, we can talk about it tomorrow, and you can find your own fucking bed tonight, Dale, because I'm going to lock the door and fuck you. Not for real, though. See you tomorrow, Dale.
Was that also on speakerphone?
Yes.
I mean, look at the bright side. At least they're going to a motel. McMichaels.
Yeah, but when they get the bank statement that they mailed to the freaking house, they're going to see a motel stay on it. She's going to see the motel stay. So
I have to apologize. Like, this is the hardest thing for me to roleplay. Like, it's so hard for me to be this mean. I'm so sorry.
I want to say Agent Grayson, with his trauma-induced hit to the charisma, has just been grimacing so tightly you could see his chiseled jawline like a scar across it, bleed white. So he goes, yeah, sorry.
Do you have a couch?
Yeah, the dog sleeps on my bed, so if you really need it, yeah.
I think I really need it. I've got my CPAP machine in the back, so.
I was wondering what that was.
Carry with that with you at all times. Point of admin: you do regain 1 willpower for increasing your bond for achieving your motivation. So anybody else who has motivations, please let me know. I'm not tracking them, so let me know when you've done them. Dale, once more, you can drop your bond with your wife by 1 and increase your bird by 1. Which is
with
just me making up rules.
a critical birding roll, should go up
Yeah.
by 2.
Well, if you show them that fucking photo, we'll see. That can be your downtime activity at some point. All right, let's. Okay, so you're all meeting up at the motel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fast forward, car montage. You're at the motel.
So Hanley, if Braverman was in the couch, there's an active investigation looking for him. Like, he clearly did something pretty damn gnarly. If he's not the killer, and if he's a victim, then something much weirder is occurring.
So Hanley starts, it's fucked up, but the camera footage doesn't lie. 2 showed up together and they talked. It's clear that Braverman tried to talk, presumably Santana, into going with him, and the 2 left after that. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
And then
Maybe they knew each other. I don't know. But it's clear Santana and Braverman left together, and now Braverman's dead.
I admit this does look good, but it looks good in a way that doesn't really make sense. If they had a talk and Braverman ends up in the trunk of his own car covered in kitty litter, either he lucked into a serial killer, like, also bad, or...
As far as I can tell, I mean, that doesn't narrow it down entirely, but it certainly lines up. Maybe they're working together.
Yeah, some prior relationship.
Let's do it. What else can you tell us about Santana? You took a look at the CCTV footage from the gas station, too. The guy who had a badge, did that look more like Santana, or did that look more like Braverman?
I don't think Hanley reviewed it yet. It wasn't him.
Oh, it
I
might have
don't
been
think-
McMichaels. In that case,
I-
he might have said that to McMichaels.
None of us took a look at the camera footage in an effort to avoid the oncoming legal shitstorm that Grayson's actions would bring upon us. I pawned it off on some on some other analysts to look at it, so we haven't seen that video just yet.
Actions. I gave permission. But yeah, good point. Let's take a look in the
I think
place
it was described to you, right? They told you.
Yeah, it
what
was
they
described.
saw.
I got a description. So if the description was good enough to lead me to believe that Braverman was in that video, then yeah, definitely DuckTales would say it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are professionals at this. You've got a really good search role, so I'm going to assume you've got a really good search, don't you, McMichaels?
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, 70.
Yeah, 70. Yeah, so you're good at finding and putting together clues. You remember the description was a 6'2" roughly.
Fit the description of Braverman.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably more than one guy at 6 foot mustache, but it does fit Braverman's description.
Okay, let's say that Braverman came here from Texas, did a bunch of work, maybe met with this Santana before if they had a prior relationship. There was a disagreement, Santana did something. If Santana's Apache, they might know him down at the reservation. But let's take a look at his room, see if he left any clues. I know that if he killed anyone, he'd probably be leaving in a hurry. Assuming he used the room at all.
Definitely. The kitty litter does seem a little bit premeditated, though.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
easy enough to get kitty litter anywhere, even a gas station. Oh, and the gas station.
You, as you say, the gas station, and thinking about all these characters, your mind flicks back to the night before Handley. You remember seeing a bunch of people, as you were staking out the place, and you spoke to the trucker. You remember seeing now, as you think of the gas station, a large, muscular, aging, Apache-looking guy rock up in a car, which you now recognize matches the one that you saw enter and leave the motel on the CCTV footage. You saw him, came into the gas station, he got gas, and he left. You didn't talk to him.
Right, because he didn't look out of the ordinary at all.
It wasn't a mistake. It was just chance.
I think I saw Santana the night before at the gas station. Okay.
What's up?
Henry says,
No
I
shit.
remember him, but he didn't do anything out of the ordinary. This isn't the guy who talked to Hanley in the truck, right?
No, not that guy in the truck. Yeah.
Wish I could say I really remembered him much. I didn't really have too much reason to, It didn't really register.
Shit. No, I guess it wouldn't have. All right, so we know he's in the area. We know he's driving enough to need a refill of gas. We know if he's Apache, he's local. Let's take a look around here, and we can ask. Shit, what was the name? What was the name of the guy? The guy with the name. We can
Fine.
ask Sheriff. We can ask Sheriff Colorado if you've ever heard of Emmanuel Santana. If we can get a place where he lives or where he hangs out, we can take him down.
Okay, so you're going into the motel. Now, you know that you currently have a warrant to search the motel rooms. How do you want to play it? Correct.
But we do
Permission
have
is required.
point
Yeah.
of order.
If
We do have a reasonable suspicion that a crime has been committed in conjunction with this room. So it's a little dicey, but we can enter without said warrant because we believe, okay, the killer's in there. You don't necessarily need the warrant if like this is in conjunction with a crime that's either being committed or has been committed.
it'll be smoother if we can ask the attending who has the keys, but if not, we can make our way in. I will note that it's been maybe 3 weeks since that footage was recorded and that car was left here. But if there's anything to find, we'll find it. Oh, now I know.
What if you have a good law?
There's a rainstorm.
Oh, that'll look.
Sorry, you.
How appropriate. Do any of you have a good law skill?
I'm a cop. Of course I don't.
I have a 50.
50?
I've got a 30 in law.
30? Both, everyone can roll it. You'll try to find a way to legally get away with this. So let's roll a law skill, all of you, to see if you can find a way to,
Could this be
Make it-
criminology instead?
Is 100 good?
It's more law, yeah, to try and do it legally. Criminology is more understanding the crimes rather than the...
Is a dice roll of 100 a good thing?
No, it's a fumble.
Wait, hold on. This is really, really important. Is it 0, 0, and 1, or is it 0, 0, and 0?
It's just a 1, 0, 0.
In that case, it's a critical success.
Correct. That's 0-1, not 0-0.
Yay.
Yeah, look, you're absolutely right, and you in fact can quote the legal code that allows you to do this and whatever else and stuff. So you're very confident that you can do this by the book.
We've got this. We've got this.
Cool. You want to just walk in, give him the.
So,
You enter the motel. You see the guy standing there, being himself with his fucking sweet singlet. What do you call singlet? Tank top. Is Rylan Mullen?
Yeah, singlets, what like wrestlers use. And
Oh yeah,
such.
yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, let's say he's got a singlet, yeah. Rylan Mullen is his name. Oh, hello, tiny spider. I have a tiny spider on my desk. Hey, buddy. And there's also sitting down, she has a drink on a little table, a waiting room. It's like she's got a little coffee or something like that. She looks like a small, older Native American woman. She sort of looks up at you and kind of nods cautiously as you enter. And Rylan Mullen greets you. What's going on, officers?
he'll defer to Hanley, who'd spoken with him before.
Hey, it's Agent Hanley. We spoke on the phone earlier, if you recall.
Shit, that's you. You came quick. Yeah, what's going on?
We'd like to take a look at the room where the gentleman booked it and then didn't stay back on the date, July, 8th or 18th. We'd like to see if he left anything, even though maybe people have used it.
Oh, shit. You mean Santana?
Yeah, that's the guy, Santana.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like a month ago, people stayed in the room since then, but you're welcome to have a look if you want to. With your massive alertness roll, alertness skill, plural, and humans and searches, you all notice that when the name Santana pops up, the woman doesn't make an obvious display of being sort of surprised, but you can see that she reacts to the name. Just a little bit of a pause as she brings the coffee to her lips. But yeah,
Yeah. I will say his alertness is 80 and his human is 60. It is eerie how he sees her reflection in like something glass and then turns towards her.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. And, and as that happens, you turn towards her and maybe at this moment while you pursue that line, Michaels, he asks you for, for a warrant or justification or whatever and stuff. He says, I'm happy to help you, but I ain't the boss here, so I got to make sure things happen all proper and shit. So you got some kind of paperwork or something?
In this case, we do not need paperwork. And he starts citing. I would recommend that you get a pen and a piece of paper because I'm going to give you a lot of citations that you're going to need for this. So subsection F, and he just starts going through the legal code that allows us to do this. You
Yeah.
write that down and you give that to your boss to make sure that you keep your job, because we're in it to win it.
Okie dokie. He starts. You can see he starts writing and very quickly stops. And he says, "I'm just going to tell him to call you if he has a problem." He just writes down your names. Meanwhile, you see this woman. She's a sort of a taciturn-looking old Apache lady.
Ma'am, mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Sure thing. What's this regarding, officer?
Regarding Emmanuel Santana. When the name was mentioned, you started surprised. I think you might know him.
You can see she sort of, freezes for a little bit and then takes like a deep sigh and her kind of shoulders relax. And she says, "You haven't found him missing or anything, have you?"
No, in fact, he's a suspect. Might have been working with some nasty characters in a couple of the disappearances that might have happened recently.
She starts shaking her head when you say that. She's
I'll be right back.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Hanley's going to jump in at this
Yeah.
point.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
You go, Hanley. All right.
Hanley will like bend down on his knee, sort of dramatically in front of her, but also to make sure he's at eye level with her. He looks her in the eyes with a lot of passion about what's going on. He says, "This man's really dangerous. We have evidence that places him directly in line with one of the suspects."
It wouldn't have been him. He's a nice man. No, he's quiet. It doesn't. You think he's involved in all this? She says. It just doesn't make any sense.
Ma'am, if he's not involved in all of this and you know him, you'll be doing him a favor of telling us where he is so we can help him. Please.
You asked us if he turned up missing. Has he been missing for a while, not turning up to the usual places?
You could see that she's sort of, having just 3 questions kind of shoved at her pretty quickly. You can tell that she's now very defensive and very nervous. She says, I can't say anything. Look, I think I was supposed to have a lawyer or something, but look, let me tell you this right now. He's a good man. He's helpful. He's kind. And I don't think you've got the right lead, but that's all. If you want to keep questioning me, you're going to have to, I don't know. He's a good man. Okay.
Yesterday, we found a young girl. The site wasn't pretty. We have a lot of missing people, and now these missing people are turning up dead. You have to help us before others end up at the same fate.
You've got a really good persuade.
50.
50? Yeah. That's good. Well, let's roll that. I'll give you a +20 for appealing to something that's important to her, but a -20 because she's sketchy about all this FBI stuff.
Yeah.
Fix. 28.
Old. 28, you passed. Yeah, cool. You can see that she softens and she looks up at the two other agents, Grayson being super intimidating and McMichael's being handsome but weird. And she just kind of nods and she says, "I haven't seen him for about a month or something. This is all so highly strange. He's a bit of a hermit, but not like me to not see him for a while. So I knew he was coming into town to see a cousin of his. So I've come in to speak, to try and find out what happened. And I just don't know. He's a big looking guy and he's very scary looking and all, and a veteran and served his country, but he's gentle, he's kind, he's very helpful. I do not think that he's capable of the kind of things that you're describing, officer. I just do not believe it."
Something
understand.
in Grayson's mind goes from military to survivalist to the improvised spike strips. But also, this lady seems like she's telling the truth, right? That he's definitely not
Yeah.
like a ardent killer of the sort.
You guys have all got
Like,
human
sorry,
60s, and yeah, she's
Yeah.
she's shooting straight.
I see. Do you know which branch of the military he served in?
I think he went to Vietnam. I know that much. I think he was some kind of commando unit or something. He's
Hey, nice.
yeah. You perhaps feel a little bit of camaraderie there. Shrugs.
If he's not been appearing in his usual places, I think he looks to his other agents, and if this guy's a victim, then why is Braverman dead? If this guy's a perpetrator, then why is he a family, or at least like a friendly person? He furrows his brow and goes, "Do you know where he normally hangs out? You said he was a hermit. He had a cousin here, though."
She looks around and she looks a little bit she's still afraid about all of this. She's still really worried. But
I want to say
Having
this. We're working directly with Sheriff Colorado's on this. This isn't explicitly FBI business. This is looking into missing persons and murders around the reservation. If he's in trouble, we'll look for him.
she looks between you and she says, "Can I speak to him, the sheriff?" She nods and she says, what's his name? Mr. Mullen, can I borrow your phone for a moment, please? He just kind of shrugs and nods towards it. And she looks up and kind of, carefully, so that she's no closer to any one of you than the other, slides between you to go to the phone if you will allow her to. She picks up the phone, starts to dial. Wait. And then
Real quick, the numbers that she's dialing, does it match the, number of the sheriff's department? Or is it a different one?
that's a good question. Do you know it off the top of your head?
I think we would...
Give me bureaucracy.
Oh, bureaucracy, my favorite.
How well do you know the phone numbers of your organizations,
I've got a
All right.
40 in bureaucracy.
I got a 10 in bureaucracy. Let me roll. I rolled a 28, which isn't bad, but it's still a fail.
You want to luck it? You want to push it?
Yeah, it's push a 10%
that.
roll. Can Dale roll as well?
Yeah, let's look. I think it was your idea. You know what? Yes, she's talking and whatever else. Maybe you can nod towards it, to convey that, to watch the phone. So yeah, go ahead. You can roll. Why not? You can all roll. Give me bureaucracy rolls.
Thank God.
I rolled
Somehow
a
Grace.
I rolled a 95. Dale is thinking about birds right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Go.
Yeah.
We share what he believes to be a knowing look. Like, yeah, he was really into that bird. Yeah.
20.
Yeah, totally.
29
Totally
under
missed it.
50.
29 under 50.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
You recognize the number. It is definitely Colorado's number. And he picks up. They have a brief conversation. The conversation is words to the effect of, "Hey, there's some agents here. Here are their names. They're asking questions about stuff. What should I tell them?" And she nods and whatever else and blah, blah, blah. And she says they want to find Santana. And then there's a bit of a pause and some conversations and stuff. And you made a good impression with him early. I mean, you only met him once, but it seems to have been enough that she kind of nods and says, "Okay, thanks." She hangs up. And then she turns to you and says, "Santana's got a shack up in the mountains, in the forest there. He does not really keep visitors much, but he's a nice man, but he likes his privacy. I'd have a good experience with the government after Vietnam and all of those experiences. So he has very little time for, well, most people, but when we..."
Especially the government.
She nods. But she said, I can show you if you like."
I think that'll be a good idea. He's actually going to look at Hanley and kind of look at his eyes and the keen of his hand. How's the caffeine pill holding on?
Yeah, roll a d6 for me, by the way, because you get d6 hours caffeine pill.
4.
4. Yeah, okay. So it's been maybe half an hour of work and then come to the motel, which is about an hour away. So maybe it's been 2 hours. So you reckon you've got about, well, you don't know, but it's getting late now. It's probably close to 8 p.m., I think. Yeah, about 8 p.m. And yeah, obviously you've been running on drugs for the whole day after staying up all night. What do you think?
If we're up for checking out the shack, I say we do it. If not, even if the man's going around, the building's not going anywhere.
Let's go.
How do the both of you feel? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. We're here now. We need to get this done.
Bob's not
Right.
rushing, but Hanley's eager to make sure this guy's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any other opportunities to do any more of this. Is kind of what is driving him.
Yeah, for sure. You've got what you think is a pretty good lead, and you want to get to it sooner rather than later.
Strike while the
Cool.
iron is hot.
Yeah, exactly. Swell. So she has her car out the front, obviously. She asks you if you just want to follow her.
Yeah, we will. We'll pile into our cars because I think we got 2. The one Hanley came in, and the one that Grayson and McMichaels was driving in.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, cool. You get into your cars. It's late. She has a sketchy old, off-road capable, but not specifically off-road car. She looks at you. What are you guys driving in? You're not driving an off-road car, are you?
He's driving a, what did I say it was? I think it was a Honda Civic.
That sounds about right. Perfect for off-roading. Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Unlikely for
anything.
Grayson, to be honest. Grayson is too old. He would be driving domestic for sure as a U.S.
Oh,
veteran
yeah, true.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Ford
Hey.
of some sort.
Anything
Focus,
that
do they
I
exist?
drive is an off-road vehicle.
I don't think the Focus
Let
was
me-
around at that time.
Ford Focus 99. Yeah, what was the first generation Ford Focus is
It's a Saturn.
1998.
That's
Son of a
right.
bitch.
Damn it.
That's right.
Yeah. Predecessor, Ford Escort. There you go. You've got a Ford Escort.
That works.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Bronco. Broncos are too tough. Grayson has like a cool little hairdresser car, not a tough manly car that matches personality.
Look, I need to blend in when I go into town.
Yeah. So this so far unnamed Apache lady, way cooler than you, and she leads you away from the motel, out onto the highway, takes a side road up to the north, up toward the mountains. You can see that this area now has been cleared at some point, and there's a pine plantation, and so you're sort of entering this quite thick pine forest, heading up to toward the mountain. Winding roads, you drive for 20 minutes, 40 minutes, maybe an hour or so. You can see that she pulls off into a little side track, which continues to head up the mountain, and it's off road. And you can see that she sort of goes a couple of 100 meters up and then sort of stops, slows down, reverse lights come on. She reverses back toward you and pulls up next to you. And she looks down at the car and she says, "It's not going to make it up here. We'll have to walk if you want to get there." It's about 9 o'clock now.
I'm fine with that. If you want to head home, how much farther is it?
Oh, not too far. I'm just. It's a while away, but I'll be okay. I just want to make sure. Look, I mean, I'd come up with you, but and you could tell that there are all sorts of reasons why she doesn't actually want to come up with you. It's late. She's a little old lady. She doesn't really want to walk up a mountain at 9 p.m. All of these things.
Thomas has been spirited away again.
Yes, we are going to go to a break. We will be back soon.
Good call. Hi. All right. So we left off, and this lady whose name you do not have has sort of implied that she doesn't really want to walk up a mountain path on foot at 9 or 10 p.m. at night because she's kind of a little old lady and she would kind of like to go home. Even though the implication with your big humans and stuff is that, you're going to have to be careful to keep him on side if you were to get up there without her being there, because he's, most of the people of this reservation are not big fans of authority. He is particularly not a big fan of authority. So she's like, "Look, I should be up there with you, but I'm not going to walk up there in the middle of the night."
I've met people, as an auto character aside, I've met people like this in real life, and they're frightening sometimes.
Yeah. And you could see in her eyes as she says, "Okay, well, be careful. Just remember, he is a good man. Whilst he may come across as confronting at some times, he is a very sweet man. He has helped me personally a number of times. So, okay." And she, good luck, she adds, and then she sort of shuffles back to her car.
Thank
The
you,
engine
ma'am. Have a
rumbles.
nice night.
She kind of gives you a wave and reverses back. She drives competently, just has a lot of confidence in these sorts of trails. So I put some photos in the Discord there so you can sort of see the terrain that you're driving through, except it's obviously really late. You're in your car, you've cut the engine presumably, or you can keep it running. You can see that the trail ahead, the roads are all kind of washed out from previous storms this month, heaps of divots and ruts and things. And yeah, you're pretty confident that your little Ford Escort is not going to get up there. What would you like to bring from among the things that you have as you walk onward?
We're going up against a pretty, assuming Hanley's hunch is correct, we're going up against someone who's pretty skilled and also a murderer. But I don't think we need to bring out the heavy gear, right? We're probably just fine with ourselves, some gloves, and a flashlight.
A
Yeah.
sidearm.
Yeah, if your hunch is correct, then this man is a Vietnam veteran with special forces training who is got a prepper shack up in the mountains of Arizona in a reservation. Yeah, you could rightly assume that, and even from those of you who've seen him in footage, at least you've not met him, but you could see that, like, veterans, and particularly in the SOCOM community, kind of have a way about them. You could tell that this guy's legit.
Maybe we'll bring a shotgun.
I'm not saying that you're going to fight him. I'm just saying that your hunch about him knowing what he's doing, and if he decides to start a fight, it will likely be a tough one, or vice, or if you start a fight, whatever, is correct.
I think if we are going to bring a shotgun, it would be Dale who would be holding it, just because he's unassuming. You know, he looks like a man who enjoys bird watching. So
yeah, look, and this is the tough decision, right? Do you go up there, you know, packing long guns and put him on the back foot immediately if he spots you, or do you go up and take the chance of, you know, in a tough situation without those long guns? That's for you guys.
Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I think Grayston is going to say, we should gear up. If we're right and he's got something to do with this, he's hostile. If we're wrong, then he probably won't be there and he's a victim. Either way, we'll probably have the place to ourselves in that case. Let's put on vests.
Yeah. Hanley doesn't argue. He will, however, how's this caffeine doing?
Yeah, you're getting close. Like, you feel like you're okay for maybe, yeah, you're right on the edge. You don't know how long this march up
I'll pop another.
is going to be. Give me a D6 for willpower cost and a D6 for the number of hours you get.
2 willpower, 4 hours.
Cool.
I've been exactly where you are many times, Hanley. You're going to crash for a week.
Yeah, it's rough. How is your willpower looking, by the way? What are you at?
Really bad. It is, I mean, not really bad, but pretty bad. His willpower started at 16. He is down to 9 right now.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Oh, wait,
So
no, he's down to
cool.
7 now.
7, cool. Yeah, clearly getting a little bit on the tired side. But that's fine, because, you know, you've got a case to win.
Yeah, we're gonna solve the case. We're gonna finish it.
All right, so you gear up. You're taking long guns. You're taking the vest. Now, there are only 2 vests in the car. Usually these missions... You know what? No, you guys could have planned ahead, you know.
And indeed, we
Yeah.
do have 2 vehicles.
Did you bring 2? Oh, you have 2 vehicles. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That being the case, there are... there's additional vests in the back. Give me a... who had the second vehicle? That was Hanley,
That's Hanley.
right? Give me a-
And Hanley
give me a luck
drives
roll.
the very common federal Ford Taurus is what he
Yeah,
drives.
okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Give me a luck roll to see if... No, maybe not luck. Give me a... What kind of skill do you have you think would have given you the best chance of deliberately or instinctively choosing a vehicle that you know would have weapons and armor in the back?
I mean, I don't. That's a good question. Let me see. So I did drive.
Could be like straight intelligence.
You know what? What if it's just drive? He's at a 40%. It's not great, but it makes like
Yeah.
you know, him
just
driving would
knowing
mean
what
he
cars
knows
have got what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. Give it a roll.
Hot.
That's good. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So you have, I'm going to roll a D. No, you know, it's fine. You've got 2 vehicles. So you've got 4 vests, 2 M16s, and 2 shotguns, if you should wish. How do you want to roll?
I'll take the assault rifle, something with longer range and more familiar to the military trained Grayson.
if that's the case, then I'll just take my pistol. That way, we're not all going up there with.
I think Hanley will have the shotgun with him.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And in terms of sidearms, you're sort of in a transition period in the FBI at the moment. Essentially, you can have a medium pistol, which does, I think, D8 damage or D10 maybe, or you can have a heavy pistol. But the Smith & Wesson 1076, which is the heavy pistol, sort of famously has some issues in, you know, tactical situations. And so it will jam on a 95 or higher in addition to other fumbles potentially. Or you can take the Sig Sauer P228, which is a 9mm by 19 Parabellum medium pistol. These are important decisions because guns.
Gotcha. I'll take the old reliable. You said that did 1d8 of damage?
I think so. I'll double check for you, but it's a medium pistol.
Okay, no problem. I can do that.
Might be a
What-
D10. I'll check.
What's our standard issue for a sidearm?
Either at this point. Yeah, either one could be. Yeah, roll the dice randomly if you want random.
Even.
You get a heavy pistol. There you go. So it's D10 and D12 for whatever it's worth. Not that it's going to matter because you're not going to be shooting anybody. So you can chill out. All right. You spend a little while gearing up. I've also got that in the stream as well. Now you've got the information that you need if you didn't have it already. Boom. Cool. The smell of pine. I can hear voices. Who's that? Background voices. Oh, yeah, cool. The smell of pine fills your noses as you step out of the vehicle. There's been some heavy rain, which has kicked up the pine oil from this plantation. The road, as I said, is kind of muddy and washed out, rocks and stones and ruts. A bunch of kind of old pine trees. It's not exactly a really neatly maintained plantation. It's like an old plantation, which has sort of turned wild. There are various sort of rocky outcrops and things on either side of this road as you approach. The road winds back and forward, steadily climbing up this hill to presumably this shack that this woman has told you about. Do you want to say anything or do anything as you climb this hill? It is dark.
I think now is as good a time as any for Dale to recite a poem he wrote about birds, if the group is amenable to that.
You could do it regardless of whether they're amenable.
That's what's like in or out of character, Dale.
Definitely going to be in character. On a second, let me find it, and then boom, there we go. Yep. So he's sorry. No, please, you go. Set the scene.
You hear in the distance an owl. It's a rare federally in brackets Mexican Strix occidentalis lucida. There's a very rare owl, and it hoots. I don't know the call, but I'm just going to go. Woo, woo. And then you do not hear as it flies away because owls are famously quiet. Other than that, there is the crunching of your boots, the occasional, what is it? It is autumn. You don't hear screeching foxes. Perhaps there are deer in the woods. This continues for some time before Dale speaks up.
A lone magpie struts at dawn's first chime, swoops and attacks unsuspecting souls. Spiked helms gleam where soldiers lay, picking through echoes of old affray. Graves to attempt to keep them at bay. Ends Dale's poem.
That was very beautiful, but I was just going to say we should keep as quiet as we possibly can.
Oh, yes. I do a little bit of poetry to calm my nerves.
I understand. It was very heartfelt. But yeah, we should, even though it's dark, flashlights off, unless we really need it. We don't need to announce ourselves.
Roger. I'll do this show. Does it look like Grayson's, I assume Grayson's leading us? Like, does it look like he knows what he's doing, or do we all look like we don't know what we're doing? Because I will say that search is not one of the things, or not search, sorry, survival. It's not one of Hanley's skill set.
It is one of mine.
So maybe Grayson's leading up the path and you can see him kind of looking around and picking his footing and stuff. And the other two of you are more or less following along, just trying to keep an eye out, keep an ear out. And you said you got flashlights, presumably.
Yeah,
I guess you can have the
kind of intermittently activating them, just kind of like bloop, and then turning off.
Yeah. I think the shotgun has a flashlight attachment on it. That sounds good to me. At least one of them does, and you presumably have taken the one that does. Yeah, you continue to walk, pine filling your nose. You start to get, even though it's, late at night, it's still really humid. It's been a really hot day, again, over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, over 40 degrees Celsius. Cools down a little bit overnight, but not really. It's still minimums. We're talking like 20 or 30, I'm pretty sure. In Fahrenheit, Celsius, I think. Yeah, 20, 25, so about 80 degrees Fahrenheit still humid after the rain. It's kind of hard going walking up the hill. Give me constitution rolls, or give me survival rolls if that's better.
Constitution is far better than my survival, and my survival's already pretty good.
When we roll this, it's times 5, right? The con
Correct.
times 5.
59 out of 75.
19 out of 45.
27, which is a pass. I'm
Cool.
quickly
You guys are all
figuring out.
good. Hanley is, limping a little bit with his bung knee from his failed football career. But you make good passage. With your military science of shitloads, Grayson, you see that this path has, after a certain point, the vehicle path has stopped, and there's like a little foot passage path, which you can clearly see has a lot of foot traffic. You can see at the end of the drivable path is a vehicle which matches the one that you saw in the CCTV footage at the motel. You look up into this footpath and you can see that it takes a route through the forest, which opens up. There's a lot less understory. It's more like that last photo that I posted of the forest, where you got the big sort of pine trees, but a lot more open in the bottom. And you can see that again, it goes uphill, and you can see up the hill. Well, actually, you can't because it's very, very dark. But the terrain strikes you as being terrain that is advantageous to somebody who is uphill. It's the kind of spot that you would pick if you were to try and defend this territory. It's got good sight lines, good kill zones. Exactly. It's difficult to flank because of a big rocky outcrop on one side, etc., etc.
Indeed. I think he's going to say, stay frosty. If this turns ugly, he's got the advantage. Do we see the shack? Or is there like
no,
a footpath?
It's too dark. Yeah, it's too dark and there's too many trees, but there is a path that presumably leads to this shack, yeah.
Indeed.
You creep forward. Pitch black. Trees, the pine being illuminated by these flickering torchlights. You try to keep them steady, but it's been a long walk. You're starting to get tired. It's probably about maybe 10:30, something like that, maybe 11 p.m. And Grayson, you are taking the lead. You have an alertness of 80. Could you roll alertness for me, please?
I will indeed. That is 63.
63 is a good roll. You are, again, there's something about this arrangement, which is bandana time.
Yeah,
there's something about this arrangement which makes you think of military. He's a veteran. He was setting those spike traps and all these sorts of things. You're keeping an eye out as you approach. Stay frosty with your last words. And you see down on the ground in front of you, just like the kind of detail that only somebody with your experience and your knowledge would recognize. There's a little disturbance in the earth. There's some pine needles which seem to have been just a little bit too deliberately arranged. They have a certain, fading pattern of the pine leaves. But once they've been overturned, then you have these little variations on it. There's something in front of you which is disturbed, and it looks like what you would do if you were trying to hide some sort of a defensive emplacement of some sort.
I think he's going to hold up his hand and stop. And he is going to slinging the rifle. He'd like to shine a light on it briefly. Is it like a pungy spike trap, or is it hiding something worse, like a tripwire frag grenade?
Yeah, you shine a light on it, you look carefully, and you can see just a little glint of metal flicker off your torchlight under the pine needle, barely noticeable.
Bear trap?
Without poking around, hard to say, but it looks like there's something metallic under there.
He's left traps, he says, turning off the light. I'll keep an eye out, but watch your footing and don't step here. He says, at very, very obviously edging around it.
Do you want to proceed as you have been with Grayson sort of leading the way? You'll be close to each other if you do that, but it means that you can all kind of take Grayson's lead in terms of avoiding what he suspects are traps in the way. If you spread out more broadly, it means that if there happens to be a trap which is going to have some sort of an effect, then less likely to affect multiple of you, but you'll have to make individual rolls to see them.
It makes sense, I think Hanley would naturally be staying close to Grayson, given he's a bit, this isn't his comfort zone, wandering through the desert at night.
DuckTales would be Grayson's shadow in this situation. He is freaking out and reciting poetry.
This is how I got traumatized in the first place. This is where I learned all my skills.
Absolutely. You proceed up this path, and once again, you spot a little bit further up a similar thing. This one equally well hidden, and the kind of thing that would definitely have caught almost anybody off guard, except for your military experience and your obscene levels of alertness when it comes to danger.
They called me paranoid, and you know what? I was diagnosed with paranoia, but it's useful here.
You walk for another 10 minutes or so. You spot 3 or 4 traps that you can tell at least. You don't seem to have triggered any. Everyone give me luck rolls, please.
My luck is 75 and I have not spent any yet. Can we spend luck on luck rolls?
You cannot spend luck on luck.
Because I rolled an 86, which is a failure.
I'm just looking for where my luck is on my sheet. Where is it?
Oh, yeah. I think, I don't think it's on there because, as your commenter rightly pointed out, Delta Green by default does not have luck, but we've house ruled it in because it's
House-ruled.
fun. I think you rolled it. I can't remember. It's usually 3 to 6 times 5 otherwise. Well, sorry.
Yeah. If I didn't roll low, I would have checked. I got 37.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple of really close calls, and we fumbled their luck, so you don't trigger a landmine that was not spotted. But Grayson and DuckTales both, you're like a foot away from what you suspect of these traps. After another 20 minutes or so, where you've had these close calls, you look down and you finally get a decent look at one of them. These are M14, commonly called toe popper mines. They're a Vietnam era US mine. You know that the point of them is to destroy somebody's feet. They are not designed to kill. They are designed to cripple. Nasty. You slip past the last one that you have seen before in the torchlight ahead. You can't quite see it at the edge of your vision in this darkness, pressing as these sort of pine needles and pine branches sort of arc over and dangle just into the edge of a torchlight, so you get these low branches with the pine needles looking like spikes in front of you, and sort of through them, just in the diffusing light, you can see what appears to be a shack. It looks like it's been relatively well built at some point. It has degraded over time and it has been repaired. At this distance, it's hard to tell. You're probably 50 yards away, you think?
Weird question. Do I smell anything like rotting meat? Or is it hard to tell at this distance as well?
Good question. Give me a search roll. It's not exactly search, but it'll do.
That is 19, a success.
Oh, good. Again, mostly you smell pine from 50 yards away. The wind is blowing in the wrong direction for scents from the hut to come towards you, so you don't spot any. You don't smell anything just yet.
Yeah, I think it's strange as he crouches at the lip of the hill, as you can see the shack, and kind of sniffs the air, and kind of grunts and continues moving. It's weird watching him work in an element that isn't urban. He seems really at home here, but also very strange.
Yeah. Okay, give me, everyone please give me an alertness roll.
33, a success.
That's a critical success.
57, pass.
3.
Nice.
Good rolls. You creep forward. You see the shack now, and you can see it clearly in the torchlight. It looks very sturdy, seems almost fortified in many ways, and there's no smoke coming out of the chimney. Perhaps, that makes sense given that it's still like 30 degrees Celsius or 90 Fahrenheit or whatever. And as you approach Grayson, you spot almost impossibly, it's not in the light, and you know that your night vision has been pretty thoroughly ruined by the presence of this torch, but you see past the light, behind the shack, off to the left, slightly higher in some high ground, you just see some shadow change in a way that doesn't feel right. Something has moved behind the shack, off to the left, moving away as you get close.
Something's here. Get ready. His eyes laser focused on that changing shadow.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna get low. Not like going prone, but like crouching.
Give me a stealth roll.
My stealth's pretty good.
All of us?
Yes, if you follow Grayson's lead, then yes.
My stealth
I
is 70. My roll is 70 exactly. Christ.
Oh,
Is that a success or is it a fail?
success, yeah.
Fail.
Good one too.
Yeah, fail.
He's not good in stealth at all. He's got base stealth.
Yeah, no worries. That makes sense. With your critical alertness earlier and your pretty good stealth roll, you drop and you sort of move in such a way that you just happen to fall into a shrub and you feel incredibly well hidden. Are you flicking your torch over to look at what you saw move?
I think he will.
Yeah. You flick your torch over and you can see maybe 70 yards away, uphill, just sort of at the edge of a rocky outcropping with a tree, you can see a man has just dropped down into a prone position. He has a rifle and it looks like he's readying it to bring it, like he's just sort of settling in to take a sight picture on your position. You can, obviously, if you're holding a torch, no matter how stealthy you are an incredible source of bright light that he can currently look towards.
Better me than the others.
Perhaps.
He's going to say, Emmanuel Santana, FBI, lay down your weapon. We just want to talk.
As you start to say this, you can see his head drop down behind the rifle to take a sight picture roll initiative. Now, there is no rolling initiative. There's just initiative in Delta Green. I'm pretty sure you just act in Dex order. And if you have a weapon, you know what? Let's double check. Combat, the turn. Not that everything's fine and normal. Hold on.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't matter. Whatever. We're just going to go in Dex order. I don't know what the rules are, but that's what we're playing now because that's definitely one of the rules for one of the games. You act. Your dexterity, McMichael's, is a 14. You hear Grayson start to say this. You look where he's looking, where his torchlight is illuminating. You two just see this man dropping down. You see his eye dropping down onto a, behind the rifle, which is pointing at Grayson. What do you do, McMichaels?
Boy, yeah, I don't think he's a desk guy. He sees him taking aim at Grayson. He's going to take the shot. Grayson, excuse me, Grayson and McMichaels just shared a moment in relation to the birds earlier, so he's going to take that shot.
Sure, it's a tough shot. You're at long range. It is dark, but the target is illuminated, and he's just sort of moving into a cover position. So it's a tricky shot for you. It'll be at A with the range penalty and the darkness. It'll be a -40.
So I've got a 10% chance to make this.
What you can do, you have a semi-auto. You can shoot to suppress if you want to, which is because it's a semi-automatic weapon. So you can deliberately target it to just try and keep him to get his head down.
Gotcha. That's what he'll do. So yeah, he'll take the shot and the number of shots and yell out, "Suppressing fire!"
Yep. Cool. Give me your roll. Just roll it flat to see how good your suppression is.
I rolled a 48. My normal shot roll with this weapon is a 50.
50 with a normal. Yeah, given that you are not trying to hit him necessarily, you're just trying to get it into the area, that is enough. Bam, 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 bam. You fire off a bunch of rounds, suppressing fire. Crack, crack, crack. Your ears immediately start to ring, and you can see that the rounds splinter, ricocheting off the rocks, tree leaves, the pine needles fracture. Suppression means that the person you have suppressed needs to either find cover or go prone as their next action, but they can stifle this at the cost of 1 sanity. Some people who are adapted to violence are not as affected by this. This person does not appear to flinch as your suppressing rounds whip past its head. He levels his rifle and aims at Grayson because that's who he was going to be shooting at already, and he takes a shot. And see what the dice. He's rolled a 19, which is under his skill despite the penalty, and he fires what appears to be a large caliber rifle at you. Grayson, you can tell that that the rifle he's firing, as it fires at you, it's a FN FAL. It's a 7.62 long caliber rifle, and it hits you. He's not firing a burst. He fires a single shot, crack, and it slams into your shoulder just at the top of the plate, hitting you for 6 points of damage. Your vest would normally absorb it, but the caliber of this rifle is such that it does not. And you get knocked back around, ripping through your shoulder as you try to take your side picture.
That is quite a bit of damage.
How many hit points do you have total?
Total, I have 10.
10, so that's more than half. That will cause an injury of significance. Let's say I'm going to roll a D. You take 2 points of strength damage as this round rips through your shoulder, and you can immediately feel that it has done a significant injury to you.
Nasty. I think he lets loose.
Make a con roll as that happens to see if that is the case.
Let's do it. 9. That is a
cool.
success.
All right, you are not stunned from this, but you are wounded. It is your turn. It is your turn? Is that right? No, Grayson. Yes, Grayson, your turn. Dex 11.
I just got shot. I'm shooting him back.
Yeah, by all means. Have a shot. You have, what weapon did you say you had?
You
have the M16.
I picked up a rifle.
Yeah, cool. You can take a shot. Now, he has cover. You can either take a cold shot to ignore that cover. I think that's how it has to work, actually. Let me just double check. Roll your dice and I'll let you know. It might not be relevant.
Will do. My firearms is 80. I'm pretty good at this. 22.
That's a critical.
Yes.
Let's go.
There's a bunch of penalties. And I was going to say you can use like a burst to fire lethality or whatever the case may be. You've just been slammed through the shoulder with a very large caliber rifle round. Your body somehow, as sometimes happens, does not immediately shut down. And the round is so powerful, it just flies out the other side. And as you're able to stabilize this shot, a critical hit is double damage? I think it's roll damage and double it. Yeah.
What's the damage of my weapon? Is it a D12 or is it...
You have a rifle. It is a D12. Yep.
Let me look through my dice. Where's the D12? No. This is a magic D12. It will have to do. That is a 7. 7 times 2.
14?
14.
All right. Let me just roll something.
It must look weird to everyone watching, but probably weirder still to Santana as he shoots a hole right through this guy's right shoulder, and he lets out a snarl and kind of bares his teeth and levels his pistol with his levels his rifle with his somehow still working arm.
I picture. In my head canon, Grayson got spun around full 360 from the shot, lands prone, pulls the rifle forward and shoots.
No scope.
Yeah. It's difficult to imagine. It's difficult to predict what might happen when you get shot, you know? And you're a veteran and you've killed a lot of people. You've shot a lot of people. But as far as I can tell, you've never been shot before. And
not a great amount. He has been wounded, but it's never been like too serious.
Yeah. So this is relatively serious. So you guys watching, McMichaels, you get your gun up, bam, 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 rounds whip past. He ignores them. He levels, fires his shot. An instant later, 16 fires up another shot. You see the puff of the impact of the foul round ripping into the vest. You see a puff of like Kevlar bursting off, and you can see Grayson's body kind of twitch as the round rips through him. But Hanley, you see this as well. You're kind of turning. You were looking the other way, bringing your shotgun around. You see this, and you see nonetheless this grunt fires an M16 round, and you can see that the figure, illuminated by the light, there's a little puff and a twitch, and it drops. He's already lying down, but you can see his head just drops instantly behind the rifle. It's your turn.
Okay, he's gonna. Yep, I'm gonna do it anyways. This might be a mistake, but I think Hanley's gonna light on, flashlight on. He's gonna move quickly to make sure he's down, and he's gonna go McMichaels, check on Grayson, and he's gonna move forward. He realizes as he's doing, he's like, there might be mines here, so he's gonna put the flashlight down in front of him, like in front of his trail as he goes.
Let's do this. So you can run 10 meters jogging, 20 meters running, or 30 meters sprinting. If you run or sprint, it's a Dex ×5 roll to keep your footing. I will also say that if you choose just to jog instead of run, then you will get an advantage to spot any mines that you are looking for.
Jog for sure. Yeah.
So you start jogging forward. It's about 70 meters away, so you're going to make it a little bit of the distance. And just give me a search roll as well as you go. 33, a critical. Amazing. So again, you've shown this time and time again, in times of stress and panic, you fucking switch the fuck on. And you can just see as you're scanning, everything slows down. Your eyes are like rock, pine, rock, hole, tree. And at the same time, you're keeping this image of this fallen figure behind the rifle in your eyes. And you start to move. Back to the top of the round, it is McMichaels. You can see that this figure has ignored your shots, taken a hit, given one, and is not moving. What do you do?
McMichaels is going to check on Grayson. He knows Grayson got hit, so he's going to run to Agent Grayson. Are you all right? Do you need first aid?
How am I feeling being more than half dead?
It actually doesn't hurt. You barely felt it. Your shot was perfect. It didn't even throw you off. You know you've been hit, but only because you felt the jolt of the impact of the Kevlar, which was just ripped straight through. You feel no pain.
Adrenaline's rushing. I'm going to go into shock within the next 10 minutes. We can sort this out before that, though.
Do you need a tourniquet? A tourniquet? Is that the right? A tourniquet, yeah.
Bandage would be great. We'll have to secure him first, though.
This conversation happens, and that takes basically all of your action. And in the time that takes, you notice that the figure does not move, respond, or otherwise. Hanley, as you continue to rush forward through what you presume is a dangerous mined territory. You keep making more ground. You're about 50 yards away now. He hasn't moved. No traps. McMichaels, what do you do?
Yeah. So McMichaels is going to make his way the same way Hanley's going, trying to follow Hanley because he is aware that this place is full of traps, probably spike pits or something like that. So should I roll something for that?
Yeah, give me a search roll.
All right. 32. I'm gonna assume that passes, but let me bring up my character sheet. I have a search of 70. Yeah, that passes.
32. It does pass. Roll me give me a luck roll.
All right.
No.
I rolled a 68. My luck is 50.
You have failed. You have very good
What?
vision. You have very good vision. You rush forward, and the pace at which you're moving is just enough that you fail to see a pit which has been buried in punjies, in pine. Expertly crafted, incredibly well hidden. He's done this carefully and with time. You are not Grayson. 68, just bad enough. Your search roll is just too bad to beat his stealth roll, and you fall. What is your alertness, by the way? It's not 70, is it? It is 70. Your alertness of 70 is enough to catch it. You don't find it as you're running, but as your foot is about to land, you see that the pine needles are just starting to collapse under your weight, and you can throw your body weight off. The pine needles collapse just enough that you could feel that there was a pit there, but you throw your body weight off and you land to the side, rolling to one side, and you do not fall into what you clearly see as a dug pit.
Agent Grayson, there are pits and traps.
So close to his own.
Grayson, what do you do?
I would like to. I'm pretty sure the assailant is dead, but I will want to join my teammates. I would like to run at one speed further than a jog. We got to secure this guy before I can bandage the big hole in my torso.
Give me a dex times 5.
Let's do it. Have to beat a 55, which I do with a 25.
The 25. So you make it well. You dart through the underbush, and with your alertness as well, you can see similar kinds of setups as you do. You just managed to get past McMichaels, who's just rolled to the ground to avoid this trap, and you're closing on him. Hanley, are you just going to keep rushing forward? You're about sort of on par now in terms of distance.
It's kind of too late to, unless there's something key that changes. It's like he's already exposed, so you might as well just get there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Over the next couple of seconds, McMichael stands up, more cautious now, moves forward, perhaps a little timid after almost falling into this pit. Grayson continues to dart forward, confident in his alertness and knowing what he's looking for, as Hanley moves forward methodically, shotgun level at this figure. Soon, you reach this little outcropping, which sort of drops down from the left to the right through the trees, this open understory with the big pine trees. Flashlights flicking, pine needles. Grayson, you start to feel a little bit of a throb in your shoulder. McMichaels, you can see there is a massive exit wound in the back of his shoulder. It was hard to see before with his shirt and with the vest and everything else, but you can see a large amount of blood is starting to pool and drip and soak his shirt. He's been hit bad, but not as bad as the figure that you can see in front of you. You can see that there is a massive kind of rupture in one side of his head. You didn't hit the center of his head, but you hit the side of his head. It's cracked open his skull. You can see that there is some brain matter there. It's hard to say exactly, but there is a slowly expanding pool of blood, which your torchlights illuminate, and the figure is still. There is a very high quality, very well maintained rifle next to him, in his hand still.
Does it fit does he fit from what we can see of him, counting the gore, does he match the profile, height, weight, and other pieces of one Santana? Yep.
A quick scan, and you can tell this is your guy. He's dressed in combat fatigues. He's dressed in camouflage, which is unusual. When you saw him last, he wasn't wearing these things, but he is now for whatever reason.
What you will hear from Agent Grayson is probably not what a normal person would say after just taking a life and getting shot a bunch. He says, still got it. Right, I'm going into shock now.
You cough halfway through the sentence and a big gob of blood comes out.
Cuff the body.
All right, everyone, please give me a sanity roll.
Including myself, who is inured to violence.
I think you're. I think you're fine. Yeah, you're good. You love it.
I love
Alright.
being pre-traumatized.
Ooh, that's spicy. I have an 80 sanity, but I just rolled a 98.
Oh
98.
boy.
That's a good one.
I rolled a 50 under my sanity, so I passed.
You pass. Look, some part of you was ready for this, but Hanley, you are. You didn't fire a shot necessarily, but you've come across and you can see, like, as you come up, the figure before you is unconscious, but you can see that like his hand is sort of twitching and starts to kind of vibrate and like it's having a little seizure of some sort, and you can see like a jiggle of brain tissue in the side of his skull is like jiggling with it, and you turn over and you see Grayson, and he says this thing and just and coughs up this welt of blood. And it is a little bit on the traumatizing side. You take 2 points of sanity damage from this display of violence.
Roger.
What will you do? Grayson is wounded. This man appears to be at least no longer combative. There is a shack. There are traps.
McMichael's saying, or sorry, not McMichael's. He was going to say something to McMichael's. Hanley is nervous a bit about the twitching, and even though he doesn't believe in any nonsense about anything supernatural, is quite grounded. He remembers those teeth, Mark. He remembers the almost mummified bodies, and it's enough to make him go, we better just make sure this guy is not a threat. So he's using his foot, he's gonna kick the weapon, to the side and move to cuff this guy.
It's
Cool.
standard SWAT tactics. Even if they look dead, cuffing the body's good. Or zip tie.
What are your first aid skills? Let me know that in a second. As you start to pull up, you kick the weapon away, hands behind his back, you cuff him, no resistance.
My first aid is 60.
And
Grayson, as this happens, you can still see blood is pumping from this wound. He's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. Wait, hold on. I think he says that as if, of course this has happened, and then it catches up with his conscious brain, which is like, I shot him fully in the head. Nothing should be alive.
It's one of those gray areas where it's like it's not beyond the realm of human capacity for this to be a non-fatal wound. It didn't blow his head apart. His brain still appears to be intact, but the impact of a high-powered rifle round at 70 yards to his head has definitely knocked him unconscious.
Yeah, he's still alive.
he's just gonna kind of step on the guy a little bit, just not like his neck or anything, like just on his back as he goes to try and cuff him.
Yep, cool. He is cuffed. He is secure. Grayson is badly wounded. What do you do?
I think now might be a good time for a bandage.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be handling Grayson's first aid. I have a 10% also, but if Hanley's cuffing this guy, then definitely McMichaels will walk up with his fanny pack and his bandages.
Yeah.
I might be the best suited to give myself first aid.
Yeah, I don't think you
Yeah.
can on account of the injury.
I
Yeah.
don't think I can, yeah.
Yeah. You can certainly roll that. But let's do a quick check-in because we can wrap this up pretty quickly if you want to. We'll have to sort of montage a few things, but we can finish tonight if maybe half an hour or an hour. How's that feel?
I'm fine with that, but if there's more to cover, I don't mind going an extra week if we want to fully put this thing to bed and do it justice, especially with all of the technical difficulties from tonight.
Same.
Yeah, I'm good for either.
Okay. Let's see how it plays out then. We'll see where it goes, and then I'll make a decision halfway through if we want to montage through or keep going. Give me a first aid roll.
All right. 79, Grayson. It was good knowing you. You were good.
Yeah,
You know what?
guys,
I
you
get it.
killed him.
Not a 77 though, so we're happy.
Yep. You're look, this is an injury that requires surgery. You are not a surgeon, and even if you were, this is not the place to do surgery. Grayson, you can start to feel your arm getting a little bit limp. You are bleeding a lot. Your lung is probably punctured. This is an issue. You don't feel like you're dying right now, but you might be soon. You do not have reception. There is a wounded, potentially dying, and handcuffed suspect. There is a hut. What's happening?
I think if there were reception, he'd maybe try to make a call for other people. Given that there is no reception, he's probably going to say, One of you should get back onto the road, try and make a call to headquarters. I don't know that I am going to make it, but I'll try and hang on. One of you should stay with the suspect.
Hanley's just finished, right? Just finished cuffing this guy.
Yep.
He is going to turn to Grayson hearing this. Is it possible for him to give it a try? First aid?
I don't know if you can repeat it or not. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Up to you.
Yeah, go ahead. It's not gonna hurt.
We've got our dirty fingers all in this wound. Like, is this? Do you feel this?
You push the cut a lot closer into it.
It's not close. It's not close enough to use luck either. It wasn't a crit, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Again, same issue. It's a massive high-powered rifle. It's ripped through his body. It's just really fucking hard to fix.
Does it look like there's a main road or trail around here?
No.
I think Grayson might say, "Hey, if we want to trust fate, maybe there's something in the shack that'll help."
We're gonna get him into the shack, I think. Come on, Grayson. Or come on, McMichaels.
Yeah, we should probably take both of them into the shack.
Yep. You're gonna pick up Grayson. Grayson can still walk for now. You're gonna drag to the shack.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So you holster or sling your weapons. I guess two of you are carrying or dragging Santana, and Grayson is kind of half limping after you.
It's quite clear that he is being powered mostly by willpower and spite at this point.
Yeah, that's fair. You have good alertness and stuff. There is a back door, which you can now see as you shine your light on the rear of the shack, which you sort of run past and around. And there's also a front door. The windows are currently boarded up. How do you want to go in?
Back door kicking open.
All right. Breaching. Yeah.
Breaching.
He'll say that. Yeah.
You kick open the back door. Inside, you see a hut. Within the hut, speaking of smells, you passed your smell roll before. As you get close, now you can smell not exactly rotting meat, but you can smell blood and flesh. It kind of smells a little bit like an abattoir as you kick open this room. Within is a pretty nightmarish scene. I would like everybody to give me a sanity roll as I describe it to you. Within, there are multiple bodies. You can see that this room used to be well set up. There was it looks like the walls are clean and it was well dusted and maintained and that sort of stuff. But the furniture has been either shattered or dragged to one side and jammed into a pile. Instead, inside this main room, you can see that there are bodies which have been strung up and are in various states of decay, consumption, and life. You can see it's hard to count the number of bodies due to their dismembered state. Several of them are strung up on the wall, almost crucified, and you can see that they have been eaten from the extremities upwards. You hear weak, whimpered cries of despair as you open the door. At least one or two of them are alive. There is flesh and blood dangling from their limbs. They've been tourniqueted at various points. You can see fine bladed knives have been kept around locally at various points. You can see some bodies have been completely stripped. You can see some bodies are desiccated. There are bones which have been arranged in strange patterns. You can see symbols on the walls, and you can see that there is one child. He is let me check. Sorry, I just have to find the name. There is a child. I don't quite know how old he is off the top of my head, but yes. How'd your sanity rolls go?
After all of that description, 41. I succeeded.
Cool.
I succeeded.
6. I failed.
96. Yeah, that makes sense. It's getting a little bit on the rough side. Here we go. We have the child. The child is more than a child. It is a baby. This child appears to be maybe 6 months old, something of that nature. It is sitting there. It has been tied to the wall. It is alive, and it is just sitting there, dead quiet, dead still, looking at you as you come in. 6-month-old kid, surrounded by torn corpses, mangled bodies, half-eaten, and strange symbols all over the place. Those of you who passed, you lose 1 sanity. For person who failed, you lose D.
Bob, you had your hand
That
up.
makes sense.
8.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
Can I propose something here, Trent? And it's totally up to you.
go.
I think Hanley looks around, his eyes are wide as he scans the wall, the victim, some alive still. And his eyes lock on the baby, and he has that memory of him and his girlfriend talking about his fiance settling down. how, they want to start a family. And I
Mhm.
think as his mind cracks a bit, he pulls his sidearm and just starts firing into the cuffed victim, or the cuffed
Sure.
assailant, just over and over until he unloads.
Yeah. On Santana.
On Santana, yeah.
Yeah, cool. That's perfect. That's very much in line with the fight response.
He's like, ah! He's like yelling while he's doing it. Yeah.
One of the temporary insanities. Yeah, exactly. Give me a luck roll, please, McMichaels.
Lucky.
Unlucky. One of the bullets that just rips. You're carrying this body, and before you even have time to react, Handley's just turned and pulled his pistol and starts blazing into the body that you're currently holding. One of the rounds rips through him and slams into your foot or your leg. Take just 1 point of damage as it like rips through your calf.
Yeah.
Super unexpected. You're shot, gunshot super unexpectedly. Bad pain in your leg.
Yeah. He drops the body and just says, I'm hit. I'm hit. I'm hit. Grayson, I'm hit.
Handley, I get it. Hold your fire. But like he's probably still pulling the trigger.
Oh my God,
I'm dry.
Yeah, I think he comes to with like McMichaels, if that's okay, and he's just like, oh my God, I'm sorry, McMichaels. He goes to make sure he's like not going to die or something. He doesn't know where he's been hit, right? Like,
yeah.
Click,
click, click, click, click, click, click is the kind of what you come back to. You're still pulling. Well, there's no clicks actually. It's just no sound. But you've emptied your rounds into this corpse, and if it was alive now, definitely isn't anymore. Do you have what's your breaking point, and are you near it / past it?
I am not past it. It's a 64. I am damn close. I have a 68. So
yeah. So you're like. You're now breathing, and you look around, and once more you're faced with this nightmarish trauma. There's now a very dead body at the floor next to you. You've got a wounded Handley, a wounded Grayson, and an empty gun. Grayson, what are you doing in this moment?
I think Grayson's like, if there's first aid material to be found, it is not in here. But he's going to look around, and he will see if he can make a first aid roll.
Yep.
How many people here are alive? And of those people, how many do we think we can get out of here? If like a chopper were to come.
Yeah. So it looks like the baby is alive, and there are 2 other bodies that are alive. You wish that they were not. They're in a terrible state. They've been half eaten. They've been kept alive deliberately. They barely respond to you. They can almost not respond to your presence. They kind of weakly kind of twitch, and they're like, one is just mumbling. He's trying to express something, but it's impossible to say what or who. Several desiccated bodies, much like what you've seen already. But yeah, 2 living adults, which have been absolutely mangled. 1 living baby just tied to the wall. The other thing that you find in this room, which is of obvious note, is a sphere. It is a grayish black sphere. It is sitting there. It is placed carefully on the ground. Seems to have unlike almost everything else in this room, which has been strewn aside, this has been placed somewhere without, what would you call it? Anything chaotic around it. It's like quite nicely placed. The other thing that you find is some symbols on the wall. And I would like you to give me a sanity roll as you look at this symbol on the wall.
Thomas is disconnected from audio, but let's just roll through this still. I'm sure.
Yeah, okay, sure.
It's I rolled a 66, but my sanity is a 65.
That is a fumble on the sanity roll. I think that means you take the maximum amount of sanity. Fortunately, I don't think that's bad in this case. Yeah, so you glance and you see this weird sphere, but as your eyes pass over this symbol, which seems to be painted in blood on the wall, you flick back and it looks different all of a sudden. It doesn't quite look like what you saw. And then you sort of focus on it. And as you focus on it, it changes, but it doesn't change in a way that you can see. It's just different somehow. The symbol is moving without moving, and it's incredibly strange. It spirals, and it's painted in this like dried blood, like I said. And behind it, the wall is like a canvas, like plastery thing on the inside of this cabin. But somehow the more you look at it, the background, it should be brown, becomes more and more yellow. And it's incredibly unsettling. You take 4 points of sanity as you take in this image?
I believe that brings me down below my breaking point. My breaking point is... Sorry, you go.
So that was for McMichaels who fumbled. Did you fail or you passed your sanity?
I succeeded.
You succeeded. Okay, you're fine. What you see is nothing. You glance past and you see a blood spatter on the wall, and it doesn't draw your attention. And there's something sort of strange about it. You look back and you realize that the blood is different to last time. But what matters to you as you look at it is that what you saw there couldn't have been seen and thus doesn't exist, and your eyes refuse to let it be real. You see McMichaels, on the other hand, is staring at this weird blood spatter on the wall, and he starts to tremble.
Yeah, I haven't addressed the roll yet for my sanity.
My bad.
Okay, go ahead. How'd you go?
So question, is it permanent sanity or is it, what am I rolling against? Is it because of my sanity, current sanity? Then I failed.
Yeah. Okay. You are the same. You take 1 point of sanity as you look at this symbol, and you're the same as McMichaels. You see the same thing. And it sort of seems to be almost a spiral, and you start to get this impression all of a sudden of an orbit. And you start to think of these stars, and you start to think of the one star, this golden and yellow star, and this symbol of blood somehow becomes a golden yellow star. And, you know, the knowledge of there being a fucking 5-month, 6-month-old baby tied to a wall disappears in significance to this one thing, which is on the wall, which Grayson has not seen.
I think you'll see Hanley like just almost stop beside McMichaels, like, what the hell's going on? Then he sees McMichael stare, then he stares, and he's like, I dreamt of this. It's the star. And his eyes just widen in astonishment because he just had this nightmare about space like earlier today, right?
Hours ago.
Perhaps it's because of his proximity to the mortal coil, but his mind is at this moment incapable of seeing the paranormal more than it already exists. And with enough mundane horrors to focus on, he's going to try to snap his companions out of it. And he's going to say, Hanley, McMichaels, at least get the baby off the wall. I'm gonna coughs up blood, and he's going to try to physically move them away from the wall and the mysterious orb.
You pull them away and you sort of turn them to the point where this symbol that they can see that you refuse to see is out of their line of vision, and you could see them blink and snap out of it. You can see focus return to both of their eyes for a moment, and you glance back and they're just looking at a regular blood spatter, and your eyes sort of scan around this area and there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Why would you look there?
This shit's the most horrific thing that I've ever seen, and I know it's probably the worst that you guys have seen too. But I want you to know, it's over now. All that has to happen is for things to be booked. Lily, stop moving my laptop. But we just need to keep it together for a few more hours, okay?
We have to get help.
Yeah, Hanley is going to look for two things around here, Trent. So top thing would be like a ham radio or some kind of way of communicating in somewhere.
Yep.
Failing that, some kind of either vehicle or like a four-wheeler or something, like a trike or...
Yep. Give me a luck roll on the supplementary vehicle. The radio does exist. There is a radio here. It's an old military style radio which has been modified to operate on civilian bands and also police bands, and it seems to be functioning perfectly well.
24 on the roll for luck.
And there's also there's a dirt bike out the back, not a four-wheeler.
Okay.
But you could use the dirt bike to get to the truck, which you could get closer. There's a lot of dense trees and stuff. You couldn't get it all the way up the path, but you could probably get it close-ish.
Yeah. I think he's going to go right to the radio because he's got to get Grayson help.
If he's going for the radio and I see him doing that, DuckTales will wave his hand. No, we have to keep this off of the net. The CDC said that they said keep this off of the net, person-to-person communication. They said to keep it. There could be more out there. They said to keep it off the net.
He's fucking dying. All these people. He's like,
they said,
McMichaels, fuck the CDC. There are at least 3 people whose lives can be saved, and one of them is me. There are 3 wounded people in here outside of Grayson that are still alive and breathing. One of them he has written off as dead.
What?
McMichaels, your phone is ringing.
Hello? Agent McMichaels.
Michaels. Hello. Agent Harper, CDC. How are you today? It's not daytime. It's like midnight.
I've been shot.
I'm sorry to hear that, Agent. What is the situation you find yourselves in apart from, shall we say, flesh wounds?
We found who we believe to be the suspect. We entered a firefight. We were victorious. There's an orb here. We found an orb. No
I
more
understand. The orb must be destroyed.
Okay, how?
They were fucking eating. He was fucking eating them.
Yes, the suspect was also eating the
Sorry, that was him just in the background, but yeah.
Yeah. So you guys hear this weird conversation going on and whatever. Give me another sanity rolls, McMichaels. Last time you were kind of able to dismiss this, impossible phone call. How's it go this time?
Yeah, I got a 92.
Yeah, you take another point of sanity as you realize after seeing this symbol and all this stuff, this person can't be talking to you. This isn't possible. You look down at your phone, still has no signal. Nonetheless, he's talking to you. And he says, in response to your question, I don't care, Agent. It must be destroyed.
I'm not, sir, I'm not arguing with you. I just need to know how. How?
I am led to understand that the suspect is in possession of a number of explosive devices. You could perhaps employ some initiative and utilize those at your leisure, Agent.
Okay.
The more the better, Agent.
The more the better, yes. Yeah. Can you send us help? We got a lot of dead and wounded people. We need help, please.
Please. Stop panicking, Agent. You have this under control.
How are you calling me?
The phone hangs up.
Did you all hear? You all heard the phone call, right? You all heard the phone call.
I heard the phone call. Fuck him.
They said blow up the orb. We have to.
What? He looks at the orb as if noticing it for the first time.
Yeah. It's just sitting on the ground.
Look, this shit is evidence. This is evidence.
Whatever the fuck this is evidence of, it needs to fucking go away. Grayson, it needs to go away. No one should see this, any of it.
Yeah, I guess. Keep on trying to reach other people. We'll find a way.
I got a bike out back. Grayson, we can get you on the bike. You might have a chance to at least get back.
Okay. Let's montage a little. You get the bike, you bring the truck up. So you have access, you can, it's a little bit of a hike still, but you can drag stuff to the truck. So you have the dirt bike, you have the truck, you have 2 mangled living adults, you have 1 traumatized living baby, you have a dead body, you have 2 wounded agents who will need medical attention tonight, but not necessarily now. And you have an orb. What do you do?
If it needs to be destroyed, and Grayson can be convinced to destroy it, he has a demolitions of 60. He can absolutely employ what is around in an effective manner to try and destroy it.
Yeah. Do you want to convince him to do that? Let's make montage somewhat out of character decision there. You want to spend some time convincing him? How hard are you to convince?
He's not very hard to convince. He would prefer that he have this, mostly because he doesn't like the CDC people and he wants to figure this shit out. But also anything connected to Santana and his merry band of murderers has to go away. It's got to be cleansed with fire.
Roger. So unless there's any dissent, let's assume that you start setting about using the available explosives to nuke the site from orbit. Hanley, you seemed pretty interested in destroying the stuff, but Grayson's on top of it. So let's say you and McMichaels, while that's happening, can deal with 1 body, 2 wounded, and a baby. What do you do?
The
Yeah.
baby obviously rides shotgun.
Cool. The baby doesn't squirm. It doesn't move. It is just blankly staring. It is not crying. It doesn't look hungry.
No, that's worse. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. That was just...
It's fine. Regular baby. And the two mangled humans.
In the back of the truck?
Yeah,
back of the truck. You start loading those bodies that you can find into the truck. Grayson, as you're poking around, you start to see, looking for explosives. You see there's an unusual amount of weird chemicals in this building. There's regular chemicals you'd expect to find in anybody's house, cleaning chemicals. You find some chemicals that are specifically designed for making explosives. And you find a bunch of other weird chemicals that even with your demolitions and your military science, you do not know the purpose for. There are several of them here. McMichaels, let's give you a decision, or all of you. What do you do with the orb? Do you leave it in place? Would you want to do anything with it, or you want to not touch it? How are you feeling?
I'm not touching that.
I'm touching the orb to move it into an appropriate explosive position. I don't mind. And Grayson already goes, if something goes wrong, I'm probably dead anyway. It's his old IED specialty of, if it goes off, it's not my problem anymore.
Yeah, that is fair. You pick it up. It feels very smooth, very warm and metallic. It doesn't have any unusual weight. It feels very well balanced. It feels relatively light, and you just move it into a location. It sort of makes a satisfying little tink when you place it down again. You do, as you place it down, you can see that it has these strange kind of angular lines which move almost in a liquid form, but never with a curve, sort of just beneath the surface that are visible. But you place it down next to your explosives. As this is all happening, you're collecting cars, you're loading explosives, you're moving stuff, you're tending to these bodies, you're traumatized. You hear a helicopter approaching.
Do we see it? What does it look/sound like?
You step
Military,
outside and you look, it's after midnight at this point. All you can see is two lights approaching. It's overcast, so you can't see through the night sky or anything like that. You just see a couple of helicopter lights approaching. It's impossible to say.
Unless there's objections, I think I might like to take a torch and flick, 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 SOS in torch Morse code.
Absolutely. You could do that. The helicopter approaches. Does anybody want to do anything other than await this?
I think I'd like to set up the detonation sequence as best we can, because if these people coming in want it or want it destroyed, I would like the option of blowing it up as quickly and smoothly as possible.
Cool. You trigger that. Grayson Hanley, what do you say? What do you do? Sorry, McMichaels Hanley.
I would say for McMichaels, he's waving down the helicopter. Obviously in a panic.
I think that's Hanley's priority as well. I don't think he's as concerned with detonating this. I mean, he wanted it removed, but if no one's complying, he's not going to argue. Like, there's priorities here. So
yeah, the helicopter can't land. There's no space, but it flies low over the pine trees, approaching. As it gets closer with the torches and the light, you can see this is a Black Hawk helicopter, and you can tell from the color of it and the markings or whatever else that it's government, military, something like that, but it's not clear to you exactly what branch or anything. You see ropes drop out the side, 4 ropes, and then you could see men in really professional looking, like SOCOM, you don't know if CIA or FBI or whatever else, but they're like operators. They rappel out 1 set, 2 set, 3 set, 12 operators hit the ground, disconnect. You can see they've got rifles, various rifles, submachine guns. They're all blacked out, black masks, helmets, flashlights, etc. They sort of fan out, very heavily armed. Your detonation sequence is, he's just gone. Let's say that Grayson is just finalizing the detonation sequence and you guys are waving down a helicopter and these 12 men step out. Agent Grayson, where is he?
Agent Grayson is finalizing the detonation sequence. I am Agent McMichaels, FBI. This is Agent Hanley.
You can see as you say that he turns and nods and just flicks his hand forward, and 6 of the team members start to move forward. You can see they have their rifles not at the high ready, just at the low ready, so it's kind of pointing 45 degrees forward, and they move forward with professionalism, scanning in front of you, and they look like they're going to move past you, apparently in response to the detonation sequence. And it says, who gave that order?
We got a call from the CDC. A Harper from the CDC called. Aren't you with the CDC?
No, we're above that. Fuck, he says, and he swears. Cancel the detonation.
Agent Grayson has the detonation.
Grayson's at the front of the building. In setting up these explosives, he's found that there was a shotgun trap, which was set up pointing directly at the front door. And if somebody had come in the front door, they would have copped 2 barrels to the chest immediately. He's obviously cleared that from the inside, so it's no longer a problem. But Grayson has moved out the back, and he's ready to trigger the detonation. He's got a timer on it, which he can dictate the timer of, but he can also manually detonate it at any time. A bunch of agents have just moved into the building trying to find him, and some have moved around the sides. They look not exactly threatening, but they look like very decisive, and it seems like for whatever reason they're pretty keen on not destroying this.
Who are you with? Who has operational command or at least administrative command?
I'm not at liberty to discuss our operational affiliation. This is higher level, beyond NSA, beyond FBI. Agents, you have done sterling work here. It is imperative that we secure this technology and do not allow it to fall into the hands of federal or foreign agents.
Who the hell called? Who told us? And he looks at his phone. He's like, we can't even receive signals. Who the hell called us? Who called us and told us?
You're at the front. You've cleared a shotgun trap, and you can hear that there are agents moving towards you. You are outside the building. You could trigger the explosive at any time. Agents have moved in and around the building. They seem very, very keen to stop this thing from being detonated. And they're claiming to be of a higher level than NSA, FBI, or whatever. And they seem a little confused about this phone call. They say, "What phone call? Who called you?"
Everything.
You can hear this all from the distance. Let me know if you want to do anything, Thomas. At the moment, they're moving through the building, and they will come through the building to you soon.
I think it's very easy to, in this moment, blame it on a bureaucratic mix-up. He doesn't know what this thing is, but he also knows that if it exists and belongs in the hands of people of a higher authority than the mysterious G-men who've been calling him or McMichaels, it's bad. He's going to blow it. And then he's going to assume that, and then...
Cool. You trigger the explosive with the agents inside?
No, not with the agents inside. I assumed like the thing was outside and ready to blow.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you've taken it outside, so it's in a little demolition pile.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Fair enough. Yeah. So you blow it. You all hear a resounding explosion just as the agents get sort of to the front door, and you can hear swearing from all of them immediately. A few of them get knocked to the ground from the impact of the explosion, and the guy who's talking says, "Fuck!" and he says, "Move in," and he just ignores the two of you at the front, and they rush through into the building, which has just had this massive explosion out the front, to clear it. Let's fade there for a moment and montage through to those agents have arrived from seemingly nowhere, and they disappear almost as quickly as they come. Once they realize the thing has been destroyed, they don't stop to talk to you. They retreat to their helicopter, they climb back up, and they disappear. They don't ask questions. All they do is search to make sure that what was there is no longer there. You've cleared it all and you've removed it. They disappear and they fly off quickly. And there's a smoldering crater with what was left of what you presume is this sphere of some sort. You look down into it and the sphere is nowhere to be seen. The crater was a much larger explosion than you were expecting. You cleared you were expecting like a radius of maybe 5 or 10 meters. It blew up like 50 meters. Fortunately, you have with the demolitions of 60, you know that you should be having a much bigger distance. Trees are flattened in the area. The thing is destroyed. You have bodies in the back of a car. You're wounded. I presume that you're just going to take these bodies back to some sort of civilization, yeah?
That seems good.
A few hours pass and you drive. You're driving with 2 living but really ought to be dead bodies in the back seat right next to McMichaels. In front of him, in the front seat, is Grayson driving. Beside him, Hanley with this baby on his lap. And in the trunk, presumably with the M16s, you have dead Emmanuel Santana, suspect of this whole thing. You get back to Phoenix. What do you want to do with all of these various humans?
Immediate hospital, I would say. Like immediate hospital for the baby, the 2 eaten wounded, and probably the 2 agents maybe. But definitely the civilians.
You're all exhausted, Hanley more than the rest, but at least he hasn't been shot. You're all kept in hospital overnight anyway, just for all of the different exposures to these things that you've had. Your ears are all ringing. Some of you are wounded. Grayson is going to be in hospital for a long time recovering. McMichaels has a flesh wound, and Hanley is incredibly traumatized. Psychologists come in, FBI come in, they debrief, they ask these things. The bodies of the badly wounded people are taken to intensive care, obviously. Santana is secured. They take your statements, the FBI do, but it's largely your SAC who's taking them, and You can more or less tell him whatever you want. Give me either law or bureaucracy rolls. You'll have had plenty of time to sort of synchronize your stories. Choose one of those, whichever your favorite is, and roll them.
Out of character, should we discuss like what our story is generally? Like, because I don't even know if we're like, so far we have the CDC. We don't know anything about it. It gave us these orders that we kind of just followed, but what were our other choices too in an interesting way? So there's probably like, maybe
give me the roll and we'll see how badly it goes or how well it goes, and then we can.
My DC to hit is 10. I got a 51.
17.
I got a 42.
Would you like to use luck or would you like to push it? You can bring it down to a pass. So you got 2 passes, 1 fail. What the fuck happened? What do you tell them?
I think the things that we can actively definitively say, we discovered a lead on who the murderer was, thanks to the good police work done by Hanley. We followed the trail of where some of the locals said he was staying. We announced ourselves. We were fired upon. We took him down. We found where he was keeping a lot of the victims, dead and alive. We don't tell them anything about the other agents. The less we mention, the better. Even though this is our CSAC, I think like the smartest play is probably to say that it was taken care of rather than there was a weird artifact.
Unknown mystery is evidence that something or someone was snacking on them. Like, because they might find the teeth, because we did.
Yeah, I don't mind saying that this guy was a cannibal, but like saying, yeah, Black Hawk helicopter came, wanted an artifact, and then left without even finishing their job.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good to say as far as like all the agent stuff. With his success, I think McMichaels would just be talking about all the bird facts. He's done a lot of bird stuff. He wants to talk about his poetry. You know, get those guys out of there as quick as possible. So just a bunch of bird BS.
Yeah. Are you trying to feign being just insane, or are you just saying nothing because you don't know what to say?
Saying nothing because I don't know what to say. Not feign being insane necessarily. Same story, but mine is like longer because it has bird facts in hopes of them just saying, "Oh, okay, we got the rest from the rest of your buddies." Like,
gotcha.
I think for Hanley, it's because I succeeded quite well there. I think he is pretty traumatized, and I don't think he gets much out. He definitely doesn't share any of the key details. He makes them ask questions until they're exhausted by it, and they probably pick up on what he saw being particularly gruesome. He does mention the bodies and the dead and living being eaten effectively. That will be discussed.
Roger. Okay. As you're recovering, CSAC being, of course, Patrick Hobson, he explains a few facts to you that come out from your various lines that you've opened up that people have been researching. He's sitting there. He brings you all together, you know, after this has all happened a little bit. Boys, I don't know what the fuck happened out there, but, I mean, fuck, you didn't kid me off the news, but, I mean, you caught a killer, okay? I'll forgive you, I suppose. Good news, you got your, fucking warrant for, fucking Braverman. Bad news, he's dead. He was the guy in the car that you found. Motherfucker had killed his whole fucking family and like a bunch of people over in Houston. So I don't know what the fuck that happened, but serial killer ran into a serial killer. I mean, who the fuck? What are the chances of that, huh? I'm fucking crazy. Yeah. And then, okay, so fucking meteor stuff. Who was asking for that? He hands over some stuff about a meteor shower.
That was, he kind of sheepishly holds up a hand and like looks through it.
Yeah.
I think hearing about that, Hanley just says, "Excuse me." And he gets up and like walks out at the mention of the meteor shower after the nightmare or the dream. And then seeing that vision on the wall, it sort of snaps and he's like, "Nope, I need a minute." Yeah.
You get there's also in the meteor shower stuff, this weird article from the National Tattler about Satan worshipping star travelers blamed for West Virginia mayhem. Lucifer's servants to blame, says local seer, which is just weird. Turns out there was a massive meteor fall in West Virginia, which happened on the 18th of January, which seemed to, coincide with a bunch of people spotting this sort of stuff. Braverman was a hero cop, apparently, and then, he snapped, went insane, killed a bunch of people and ate them and was draining them all of blood. and, homeless people and the like. It's pretty nasty. He also says that, well, the other fucking thing is, so we got a call on your radio. Some trucker was calling early in the morning. He said he found a car which somebody had fucking punctured the tires and shit, just like what you saw at the Van Olsen thing. Just this morning, the 15th. There's a family there who were driving along and they got their tires punctured. And, it would have been about the same fucking time that you was up there doing all that shit. So, I mean, shit, if it's connected, then you fucking saved some people, boys. All right, you saved some lives today.
It's good to hear. I think he's looking through the dossier and, he's goggling at the Tatler article. Is there a map of the United States, in the office?
Yeah, there is.
He's drawing a line from West Virginia to... because, in the article that you shared, he's a hero cop after stopping the New Orleans cannibal.
Mm-hmm.
So he's drawing a line from West Virginia to New Orleans to Texas to Arizona. And he's having a bit of a panic attack, but he keeps it down and goes, yeah, we put him down.
You read this article, and there is a little phrase here which says, she continued, they chose to reveal this to me as they see me as a respected enemy and are fearful of my mind foo, just like you revealed to me the yellow sign. I can only urge people of this county and this state to do their brain meld exercises. Behold the sign and pray to the Almighty. Do your research, find the truth, etc., etc. It goes on. Grayson, you didn't see anything on that wall, so this doesn't strike you as strange. Either of you read this article? Doesn't sound like Hanley did. It sounds like Hanley fucked off.
DuckTales would read the article. Yeah.
Give me a
he'd be in
sanity
there.
roll, DuckTales.
94.
Do you
Take
reach
4
your breaking
points.
point during a debrief?
You take 4 points of sanity damage. Does that put you in your breaking point?
What's the breaking point?
It's your maximum sanity minus your power.
Boy. So I am right there. I'm right on the
Okay,
cusp.
not quite. So you read this, and all of a sudden the image on this article starts to spiral, and it turns into a golden star and starts to twist, and you're kind of locked into this thing, and you start to think of all kinds of orbits, and you start to think of plays, and you start to think of books, and you realize that you have read a sci-fi novel which had a little sphere. It had a little silver sphere like that. And it was this sci-fi novel about this cannibal alien that, was going around the nation eating people. And then the title of the book pops into your head. It's called The Autopsy. Best Weird Stories of Michael Shea. And you realize that you've seen this book somewhere. You just don't remember where, and you have to go and find it.
Yeah, DuckTales would. I had to find a book. Excuse me. Yeah, he'll run off trying to connect the dots.
And it is weeks later, perhaps, that DuckTales is found in his home. Probably not in his home. He's in a motel room. His marriage has fallen apart. He is reading this book. It's on this table on top of a pile of notes and plays and book articles and diagrams and symbols in his home. And he is just babbling about the yellow sign. And it is also at this time that the rest of you, time fast forwards, Hanley leaves the debrief, avoiding this nightmarish situation. Grayson looks into this trail of murders stretching from Arizona, as you know, all the way back to Virginia. Turns out there's been cannibalism, dried out bodies, and the occasional disembowelment. He finds this trail of articles and crimes and serial killers and murderers, which nobody has connected except for him. Give me a sanity roll, Grayson.
If I fail this, I will reach my breaking point.
Great.
Welcome to Call of Cthulhu, where you look into things and it goes bad for you as a result of you looking into things.
Lucky one, I succeed.
He succeeds, and you realize that you've stumbled on something awful, and you find out that there's also been, you remember the weird chemicals. You find out that the theft at CSS Chemicals, which was mentioned offhand in the beginning, turns out that was Santana, who you've killed. And there's all these other thefts which coincide with this whole thing. And you think, and you start to figure this thing out, and you get at the end of this trail that you've been following for, some time now, starting to recover. Your injury is still fucked. You're in hospital.
He's in hospital, looking through files and calling people obsessively.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And you find out soon after that, the baby is healthy and it's been discharged from hospital, of course, and it's been put into foster care. And following up these lines, you find out that this was Daniel Troutner. He was the German boy from the previous murder. He was, kidnapped a few weeks ago. And news comes out 2 weeks later that this boy has been found disemboweled in California 2 weeks later. And then a very week after that, you hear a report of a missing persons case turned murder where the person was drained of blood and eaten and was found was found stuffed behind a dumpster in San Francisco.
He's going to follow that trail of bodies the moment he can walk. And he's going to start with whatever the fuck happened to Santana's body in the morgue.
And that's a great question. The morgue, at the same time, you get reports that there's been a murder at the morgue. Santana's body is found disemboweled. The mortician has been found dead and eaten, and the mortician's assistant is missing. Sure enough, homeless people missing, eaten. And we will end it. From my perspective there, Hanley, give me an epilogue. What happens to you? Are you helping Grayson?
I think it would Grayson have come to him at some point about this.
Grayson
He's in hospital still.
He'd probably have called or something, but he wouldn't have.
You aren't. Well, I thought you were chasing the trail, so this is before that.
Yeah, this is weeks later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in those weeks, no, I don't think he would have had any. He would have tried to avoid until Grayson came out with "We didn't stop it." That would change things, but until then, I think he's eating less. Hold on, I'm gonna roll something interesting. Okay, I rolled 68, which is 1 over my sanity. So I'm gonna go with that original description. He's eating less, so he looks thinner. He's not sleeping well. He's been given a leave of absence while he attends probably regular counseling till they tell him he's good enough to go back to the job. And he's picked up smoking. He doesn't go to church in that time. His answering machine's full. He barely responds to his dad and his fiance. And he just watches TV just over and over and over, always avoiding the news in that time.
Does Grayson call him?
Grayson does. He would call all the members of the team that saw what he did that day because no one else would understand except those mysterious voices on the radio and the agents in the Black Hawk, and they are not his friends, he thinks. He will tell his fellow agents. McMichael's after his nervous breakdown, maybe he gives a little bit more break, but he'll let Hanley know 100% that whatever Santana was, or whatever was inside him, it's still out.
And you call McMichaels as well?
He would. After Hanley, seeing how Hanley reacts to that, because McMichaels had been found in a motel room 5 days later. But yes, he would call McMichaels as well.
I think Hanley just hangs up after you tell him this.
Michaels, you finally, after some time, break out of this obsession that you have with the yellow sign. Not really completely disconnected from it, but enough that you can make decisions and do things. And you get this phone call from Grayson.
I'm in. I'm better. I'm getting a divorce. It was her choice.
Yeah, I saw that coming. I'm sorry.
It's fine. She's letting me keep my bird photos and birding materials. So there's that. And she'll be happier and I'll be happier. There's a lot out there more than birds. I've learned that. There's way more than birds out there, Agent Grayson. So much more than birds.
I know.
It's
and it's not good.
None of it is.
We're some of the only people who know what's out there. And we're some of the only people who have come close to putting it down. And if we can finish this, put it to bed, I don't know. We're not going to go back to a normal life. But this thing, it's going to be dead. And I'll take that trade any day of the week.
Nothing ever ends. Nothing. It's all orbits. Circles, stars. Nothing ever ends. I'm in.
You hang up, and minutes later, all of your phones ring simultaneously. Pick up, and somehow, simultaneously, you all hear the voice of one Ruben Harper, agent, you've done exceptionally well. I'm proud of you. But it seems we have more work to complete. And I think it's time we briefed you in. We'll be seeing you soon. And the phone hangs up, and you all receive a letter in the mail that day with a small green triangle upon it. And we will end it there.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was super fun.
I want to put that fucking thing down. What was it? Was it like, I presume it was inside the body, but
I'm not gonna tell you that.
it's over. You can tell us.
No. That's how Call of Cthulhu-esque games work. You don't actually get answers.
I should have
Sorry, you
blown
get
up the
to-
body as well.
Yeah, the investigative spirit is like what drives you to madness. It doesn't. There's no resolution. There is no happiness at the end of this story.
You say that, but Grayson was the only one who didn't have a mental breakdown.
Yeah, it's true. He's one sanity point away.
Yeah.
With enough therapy and time with his dog, he'll be back in tip-top shape.
That's right. That was really fun. I decided, I was like, you know what? I think we're close enough. We can wrap it. We could have probably put down a whole other episode with that epilogue, but I figured with the drama of that whole scene, we're close enough to the end. Let's just put a full stop on it. So it might have felt a bit rushed, but I think we got all the main points, and you guys did super well. You also just picked up on all the clues. You did super well, and you pounced on stuff at the right time, and you kept pushing yourself to the point where it was like, well, it's all coming to a head. And here it is. And everyone's more or less sane and not even dead. I rolled a 4 on that damage dice, or no, 2 or something like that. It could have been 16 damage, and I rolled 6. And
Oh,
killed
yeah.
Grayson outright.
I thought Grayson
I
might
was
die.
Very glad.
Yeah.
I thought I might die too. Like, the moment I shone the light, I was like, okay, he's going to shoot at me and the other two are going to get shots off. Let's see how it goes.
Well, the
Yeah.
fact that you fucking crit him as well and took him out in
Yeah.
one hit. Amazing.
Grayson is phenomenally good at murder.
Yeah, clearly.
And it's very good that he's at the FBI.
And going in the back door instead of the front door means you didn't get double-barreled shotgun to the chest and stuff, and
Yeah,
and dodging all the landmines as well. Could have been a whole thing.
indeed. But yeah, like you said, it might have felt rushed. It didn't. It felt great.
Ah,
It was
yeah.
it was a good montage at the end of a thing
Mhm.
where you see the agents at home with music playing, one of them naked and drawing the yellow sign.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hopefully nobody goes to his motel room.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, there's a whole thing. I'm not going to tell you any of it. It's really complicated. And
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy it for myself. This is my little secret.
Well, I would be down. We'll see. So this is for the audience. If you liked what we did here, please share the word, get more eyes on it, comment on all the videos, and let us know. And we'll bring it back for a part 2 one day when the time is right, when the stars are aligned, as they say.
When the stars align, yeah.
Yeah.
There are
okay,
birds everywhere.
birds everywhere, man. Birds
There are
everywhere.
birds for those with eyes to see.
That was fucking really good, and I had a really good time. I hope you all did too. I am Trent B, and I have been your Delta Green handler for this journey. But yeah, if it can happen again, that'd be cool. Depends on the audience and stuff. But if not, this has been a treat. And yeah, I will be appearing presumably on some future Tickingtimebob adventures of various kinds. And looking forward to it. Let's have some outros from Thomas.
Hello, I am Thomas, and I have been playing Pearl Grayson. It has been a pleasure and a delight playing the grizzled FBI agent who succeeded enough sanity rolls to go, yeah, that's some weird fucking paint, but also failed enough to realize the horrid reality that exists within the universe. I built him to be a door kicker, and by God, he kicked doors. It's been a pleasure playing alongside my fellow agents, and I'm the handler.
Cyberbro.
All right. I'm Cyberbro, and I played Dale McMichaels, DuckTales to a few
To
people.
his friends.
Yeah, to his friends, the DuckTales. And yeah, this is a great experience. First time playing Delta Green or any Call of Cthulhu adjacent material. So love the feel of it and had a great time. And yeah, DuckTales came out pretty good. And he's getting that divorce that was just gonna happen. So that's okay.
Needed that.
Yeah,
was
we
good.
all saw it coming.
Audience look.
And Bob.
Hey everybody, Tickingtimebob. I run the channel, which is why I got all vocal at times. Apologies to this. So we do a whole bunch of Pendragon on this channel, but we are expanding into other games, and we're kind of trying different games to see what draws an audience and what games we love, more importantly. This definitely landed positive on my plate. It's the type of, it reminds me a lot of True Detective Season 1. That was the vibe I was going for in it, and it hit perfectly. So I can understand why someone recommended this game to me. And this particular Puppet Shows and Shadow Plays, I asked Trent if he would run it because someone recommended it. And I think the idea that we're not already part of Delta Green is what made that one so much fun, like as an intro one. In addition to this, we have our Pendragon games coming back in November. We just finished Crown of Thorns, which is a 3-part Vampire the Dark Ages game run by the Gentleman Gamer, aka Matthew Dawkins. And we have more events coming up, yet to confirm, but we should have John Wick in for November for Legend of the Five Rings. We should have Paula Deming in for Call of Cthulhu, featuring Jeff and the Lollygaggers as well, alongside some of our crew. That's in December. And just come join us for David Larkins of Chaosium as he plays alongside of us tomorrow for Open the Gates, a monastic Pendragon experience. It's been pretty fun. We did lose one episode on that, unfortunately, because of power outages, as the technology continues to conspire against us. But thank you so much, Trent, for getting all this done. This was a lot of fun to do. And
I
it's
gotta show you my fucking notes. It's such chaos.
Your
sideways.
notes. Tell me details.
Okay.
No.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks all.